Hello, everyone. We are live for our special Disneyland stream. We are here in sunny California. The park is a little packed right now, but as you might notice, people are very, very fake because we are doing all of this through Disneyland Adventures, which is formerly a Connect game where you get to go around the parks, mess with all these characters, and go on special minigame versions of the rides. But today I'm going to do it with a special twist. Instead of all those dumb minigames, we're actually gonna watch all point of view videos for every single ride that we want to go on. But first, let me introduce you my special guests that I have here today. First off, I have Belinda Garcia.
Hey guys. I'm
Josh
so excited for this. Oh my god.
Josh Silverman.
I am supposed to be in Disney next weekend, so I'm excited to get to live it through this.
Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. Let me tell you, if this park is what crowded looks like to you, I want to live in the dreams that you live in, Mr. Nano Biologist. Thank you so much for having me be a part of this. This is definitely something I've been looking forward to all week.
And we also have Alyssa, whose
yet.
mic is not working just yet. Going through some technical difficulties this morning, but
Technical issues.
she will say hi whenever she becomes available. So
She's the one that all of us are. We're ready for rope drop. Everyone's like, we gotta wake up at like 7 a.m. We're gonna get there. And she's the one that like overslept a little bit, and we're like, well, we're not waiting for you. So
In real life, because me and Alyssa had just gone last month, we are like 5 a.m. wake up, makeup done, in the park, ready for rope drop, both of us, and we're all like, we're crazy, yeah, let's go.
totally, that's the only way to do it, man. Rope drop to the end of the night. You got to do it all. You can
But
do
today-
the entirety of Disneyland in one day.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So before we get started, before the park actually opens, let's tell everybody our background with Disney, what we like most, what our favorite movie is. Let's just go down the line. Tim, you want to start?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I am a Disney boy through and through. Both old school with the animation stuff, obviously new school with the Star Wars, Marvel, and all of that. But I'm a park guy. Near and dear to my heart are these parks, specifically Disneyland. I didn't grow up with them. I was a broke boy back in the day. So I didn't actually get to go to Disneyland the first time, even though I'm in San Francisco, which, a lot of people that aren't from California think right next to LA. It's actually like a 6-hour drive. So it's not that convenient when you don't have a car. But I didn't get to go for the first time until me and Alfredo and some of my other boys did a road trip down there when we were 18. And I got to experience it all then, and it was magical, to say the least. I've now been back countless times. I've been to, at this point, I want to say most of the parks in the world, but it's probably maybe at least 40% of the parks. But at the end of the day, to me, Disneyland is where it's at. It's the greatest hits of it all.
I 100% agree. What about you, Josh?
So I mean, growing up, I grew up going to Disney World with family. That was a thing we did. I grew up watching Disney movies, and somewhere in there, I started hating Disney. In all honesty, my dad started spouting some stuff my mom did. I don't really remember the exact details, but when I met my wife, we spontaneously went on a Disneyland trip, and I kind of just fell in love with the park again, like my childhood fell in love. But through her, I proposed at Disneyland, got married at Disneyland, and named my second child Sora. So
There you go. That's amazing.
so a little bit of a fan of Disney.
Just a little bit. What about you, Belinda?
So I, like Tim, also didn't grow up going to Disneyland. Like, people have like baby pictures at Disneyland. I never had that because mostly my mom is not an amusement park person. She doesn't like rides. She would be like, why would we go to Disneyland when we could go to Europe? And I'm like, that's great, but I want to go to Disneyland. So I grew up on the movies, but specifically I had a VHS of the Disneyland sing-along where they take you through the park.
Oh
So
my God, yes.
that was Disneyland to me. That was oh my God, this is Disneyland, creepy trees and haunted mansion, Winnie the Pooh singing rumbly in my tumbly, all over the park. That is Disneyland to me. And then my first time at Disneyland was when I was 13. I was on a dance team in middle school, and we performed at Disneyland and California Adventure in the winter. And that was my first time, and I fell in love, and it's just been fireworks ever since. And now I go multiple times a year because it's pretty easy to just drive down or fly down. The flight is like an hour and a half at the most. And yeah, so Disney is sort of my life. I have 2 Disney tattoos, and counting. There will be a whole sleeve one day, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, Disney is everything. The movies are everything. Yeah, Disney's life.
Alyssa, are you here?
I hope so.
There we go.
Yay, you
Yay.
Oh my god.
She woke up.
Perfect timing.
it!
Okay, I want for the record, I could hear everything you guys were saying. I was talking. So Tim, when you said that I'm the person who's still asleep when everybody's trying to leave,
I
really
defended you.
angry.
I defended you.
I did hear you. Thank you, Belinda, because I'm not that person. I will leave you. I am the person who's like, bye. I have done it before. We've gone with friends, and I'm like, nope, you're not up. The park's opening. I'm leaving you. Goodbye. Find us. Good luck. I don't care.
It was a
You need
metaphorical wake up.
I'm sorry. It was so annoying because I was sitting there and I was talking with you, Mick, and then it just like decided right before we went on, like, no, never mind. The microphone doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, we were just wondering,
My
did you go get
phone.
coffee?
Here's
Did you
the
have-
thing, though.
go get a churro?
You're very on theme, Alyssa, though, because every time at Disneyland, there's always technical issues, especially on
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. So it's okay.
Yes,
You're just
it's
doing
true.
it right.
So, Alyssa, people don't know you. Talk about yourself a little bit and your love for Disney.
Oh, I guess I'm connected to everybody through Barrett. Barrett's my fiance, and I made friends, I guess, everybody that way. And Disney-wise, I grew up in Hawaii, so sort of similar. Like, we didn't go to Disneyland a lot. I know specifically I went in 2nd grade to Disney World, so I can remember that one. And then I went when I was really little. It was before I was even in school. But when I moved to San Francisco for college, my friends and I, also from Hawaii, took matters into our own hands. And we're like, we live in the same state as Disneyland. We are going once a year now that we're in college. So we rode the train down. When I got a car, we drove down. We flew down. We've done it all different kinds of ways. We used to go every year in college together with my college friends. And yeah, but I grew up loving Disney, just like you guys. So.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
A little about me. Y'all hear my name a lot on Kind of Funny Games Daily as the guy correcting people, but also I'm a huge, huge Disney fan. I liked it a lot when I was growing up, but never really got into it. Wasn't a big fan of the parks until really started liking roller coasters and theme park rides, and then I finally went my senior year of college with a friend, and that changed everything. Like going around the world at Epcot, drinking, going through all the parks, basically being a young adult in Disney World is one of the best experiences ever. And then during work, I had a quick trip to LA. So I got in early enough where on East Coast time, I was done with the workday, and I decided I'm going to get my rental car and go to Disneyland. I got a park hopper pass and did it all I could in that day, and I immediately fell in love with Disneyland right then and there. And now I've been trying to go about once a year to see all the new stuff, enjoy it all, because it is very different from Disney Worlds. But it's a little bit more difficult on the East Coast. And yeah, I actually was watching Treasure Planet this morning to try and distract myself and get ready for today.
It's so good.
It's one of the most underrated Disney movies.
Super underrated.
Stunning. It's stunning.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think the park is opening.
Yay!
Love it.
Oh my god, you can take a picture up there in front and no one's there.
Ladies
Wild.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Disneyland, the place where dreams come true.
Hey, we are
Oh my
off.
god, it really sounds like it.
Yeah, I got audio clips for everything for this.
So I'm not hearing audio. Am I supposed to be hearing audio?
I
You
have the
should
stream
have been hearing audio. You should have been going through Discord.
Oh.
I think it stopped a few minutes ago. I didn't notice.
Oh, dang. Okay. I'll work into that once we get to the
All
first
good.
run. But yeah,
Here
so
we are.
Here we are.
Main Street, USA.
Main Street, USA. This game is so surprising. It's like a very okay game, mechanics wise, but it's such a great recreation of like 2015's Disneyland.
It's unbelievable,
no
man. I was talking to Barrett about it, and he was asking me, he's like, "So what is this game?" And I was like, "All right, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what the game is because the game's not good. But imagine if Mario 64, if Peach's Castle was a 1-to-1 recreation of Disneyland, and then the paintings were the rides." And
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh wow!" And it's like
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is.
Like you can see like the castle's right there, and Matterhorn's right there. Like everything is exactly where it needs to be. There are some things here and there that are missing.
I've never
Like
played this, so I'm like, whoa.
I'm legitimately getting emotional watching.
Watch it. Hold on. Go back for a bit. Go back.
Yeah.
Like I want you to get to the end of Main Street. All right, and then let's look
then,
at the castle from the end of Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment, guys. Where are we going first? What are we doing?
Oh, that's right.
We need to plan out our night, our day.
See, I was thinking Thunder Mountain because you always got to go on a mountain first.
The real move is to get a fast pass for
But thing is,
one of the big rides.
Thing is, we have all the fast passes we want for today.
You love it, man.
Real world style, what my wife and I always do is she walks to something like Thunder Mountain or Indy, and I make a sprint to Space Mountain to get fast passes, and then we meet up on the ride she is online for. That's our typical.
Yeah, you need the pro plans. You need those high level MLG strats when it comes to Disneyland. You got to be passing off with multiple people, making sure multiple fast passes are being gotten at the same time. But then once you have that all under lock, you're at this moment. You're at this crossroads, quite literally here at the end of Main Street. You're looking down at that beautiful castle, and we need to make the decision of what land are we going to first. And what's your guys' go-to? Because I typically go Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland. Like I said, I usually go to just Thunder Mountain. It's on its own in Frontierland, and it usually has a very long line.
You want to just get it over with, get
Exactly.
it through early in the day.
Knock that land out. Go everywhere else.
Belinda, what about you?
Tomorrowland is my favorite land, but always in the morning because we're in 2020 and you can check your phone and see ride like wait times. So you get to this spoke, you get to this middle, and you're like, all right, where do we need a fast pass? So we'll either like run to Indy, get a fast pass, run to Space Mountain, get a fast pass, and then you go on whatever other ride that you want that has the shortest wait, and you do it like that. That's sort of my plan every time.
All right, let's make our way to
But
Thunder,
guess,
dude.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I always forget about Big Thunder Railroad because it's usually like it's 50-50 on if it's shut down or not when I
Oh,
Yeah.
totally, man. Yeah, that's the saddest thing is there's certain rides that it's just like I've been on so few times because of that. I think that's one of them. And I think I've only successfully been on Indy twice, and I've been on Indy probably 15 times in my life, but it breaks down so often, or something doesn't work, or the sound stops. It's like it's
not the
unfortunate
same.
because it is the most intricate ride that has so much going on, so you don't get distracted because it's still so good. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
You all ready to get on Thunder Mountain?
Let's do it.
so ready.
Howdy, partners. For your
When I was there with Alyssa, I love that ride. Like I forget that I love that ride. It's so fun. Like,
And it's so different and unique for what Disneyland has to offer because it especially being thrill ride and that's outside, it gives you a perspective on Disneyland.
I'm so excited.
And chat, let me know if the audio is a little bit too loud. I've been trying to mess with stuff as we go. And you guys hear everything okay too?
We can hear it good, yeah.
Fantastic. So here we go.
Restraints too restrictive, and I always do the thing where I purposely loosen them, and my wife hates it more than anything. Because I'll always put my fist underneath her
Oh man.
restraints.
You want it extra scary, I get it. The hard mode of Thunder Mountain.
Exactly. I also got injured by those bars once, so it's more like a...
Oh, you did not.
Yeah.
So this is like one of the few times where I think Disney World has a better loading area because like you go underground, you go in the tunnels, and that's when you get on the ride.
I would agree.
And you start right in the caves. You don't go into the cave and get on the first hill.
Yeah, the thing with Thunder Mountain in Disney World too is the projections. Like it's a lot more high tech than the one here, and it works more often than the projections and stuff they had here that they added recently. But the thing that I give the nod to Disneyland's Thunder Mountain is there's a speed that no other ride in Disneyland hits, or
Right, and you
in Disney
don't-
Park.
you don't think about that, but you're on it. You're like, we're going really fast. right now.
really.
Yeah.
It's the turns. You're like,
Oh yeah, you're getting thrown around as you go.
But it kind of like is. I think the sense of speed is more because you're in the dark and you don't know where you're going, and it kind of like is a fake. Like it's faking the momentum. Whereas with this, like you're going fast.
the best part of this ride now is from the very top you can see Star Wars Land. It's gorgeous. especially
Oh
at
yeah.
night. It's just, it's lit up and you can see it so clearly from the top, and it's so beautiful. They planned that out really well.
Dude, even right here, like you gotta love Disneyland for giving a storyline, not only to a roller coaster, but to a roller coaster that's just, oh, it's an Old West roller coaster. That's it. And it's like, nope, there's a story, and that's awesome.
I always have a thing for this ride, particularly that whenever that goat pops up during that first drop, I always have to scream goat at the top of my lungs. And during my wedding weekend, the goat was like getting repaired or upgraded or something. I don't remember. And I had literally talked it up for some reason, like for a while. And we had 35 people with us in our party, and I think everyone was waiting for me to scream goat, and like I just was sad.
Instead of goat, it's like goat. Goat.
Where you at, goat?
I went on this whole, I went on because it's me. I went on this whole lengthy rant about where the goat was, and everyone's like, "What? Shut up!"
All right, guys, that was Thunder Mountain. Where are we gonna go next?
We're on Twitter right now, just so you know.
Okay.
There we go.
I mean, you always check your phone after the ride, right?
Oh, oh, that's so true.
Check
You're
real quick.
so true.
It's an authentic experience.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? So we're over in this area. Normally, when I end up at Thunder, it's kind of more of the luck of the draw of seeing that on your phone, the wait was shorter than normal, and it's kind of just on the way to something else. Like usually, it's like on the way to get to around Pirates or something. What are you thinking?
I mean, we're over here, so.
Seabass is saying Splash Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go for Splash. We could start at Splash and then kind of make our way back around.
Yeah, let's do
It
it.
looks warm out. It looks warm
Yeah, it
outside.
looks nice out.
Nice
I
sunny
have
day.
not been on Splash Mountain in so long.
In so long, like
long.
because it's a choice. Like, dude.
Yeah,
It is.
it's a whole-
It's a
it's
choice,
like
but guys,
paragraph
it's a
of the day.
choice you gotta make.
That's Splash
There's
Mountain.
a reason that they sell sweaters at the stores everywhere. You
It's
get
true.
a little wet, and then you dry off. It's all
The
good.
best is in the summer when it's so hot that you're like, I need to go on Splash Mountain and I need to go now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's
it's
true.
so refreshing.
See, I was
But
so
the second best is getting on Splash Mountain when it is after the fireworks at night and it's freezing cold and there's no
Yes.
line and you can go on it time and time and time again. My favorite story of Disneyland is it was me and my friend James Burke and a bunch of other friends, and none of them wanted to go on it because they're adults. Whereas me and James were like, no, we're getting wet right now at 9:30 at night. And we did the ride, and then we did it again, and the guys were literally like, do you want to go a third time?
Oh my god, that's awesome.
God.
Like literally back to back, and we're like, yeah, sure. That was our fatal flaw. Never do it more than twice, because we ended up sitting there, and there was this like group of like 3 girls that got on in front of us, and this group of like 2 dudes that got on behind us. They weren't together, but they were young and ready to mingle, and they were flirting with each other the entire ride with us in between them.
Oh no.
Which turned into a giant splash fight between them, and they
Oh.
were just like throwing water back and forth at each other, which
Oh,
just
no.
resulted. I ended up being fine. James was soaked, and it was the funniest thing. So a little word to the wise: 2 times, okay; 3 times, you're playing yourself.
You are, yeah.
It's my favorite ride of all time. I just ride it endlessly, personally.
See, you're talking about the goat being not working, and I hate it when the animatronics at the very end, like on the boats, are just, during the big sing-along special, are just not there at all. Like they're just missing or standing still. It's so disappointing. Alright, so we're going back to the
This one is a surprisingly long ride. Like I appreciate that, on the summer days the line is insane. But I'd say it's always worth it because it gives you a nice moment to breathe from all the running around for fast passes. And like the story elements, the music, like there's a lot that goes on here. Like the narrative feels like a season of a TV show.
No question.
Sometimes during the ride, I get a little drowsy because I'm just like sitting, I'm tired, and then like, that drop wakes you up. Like,
There's a surprising amount of drops too.
I know.
You remember it as the one drop, but it's like, no man, there's a couple splish splash moments.
There's a lot of surprises in this ride.
Well, I think one of the park, I think Disneyland has more drops than the other one, too. Like, there's actually, there's also a change in the music, too. Like, I think Disney World has more of a jazz theme to it, while Disneyland is more country.
Yeah, Splash Mountain was the one ride that was broken when I went to Disney World, so I never got to ride it, and that makes me very sad, because ever since I saw Boy Meets World, when they, Corey and Topanga finally make up in Disney World, I've always wanted to ride it.
Yeah, I mean, it was working when I was there, too, in February. They were doing some kind of refurbishment and kept on breaking down after that. And we were, my girlfriend and I were actually supposed to go in May for our birthdays, and now that's not looking like that's happening.
Yeah. We're supposed to be there today.
We could be there
That's
now.
right.
Weekend.
All weekend.
For Alyssa's bachelorette.
Oh, that's right. Happy Bachelorette Day, Alyssa.
Thanks.
I don't know how that still works, but Sarah Day.
In spirit.
And today is supposed to be Dapper Day.
Dapper Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be dressed up. We were gonna do like inside out characters, and I was gonna do like a fancy like Dapper ping pong. And it'll happen one day. We'll make
Good.
it happen.
Day. We've
Good.
got to do it because we invested so much planning into like outfits, like coordinating, and it's so sad.
But this is awesome. This is making it all
I'm
sort
glad
of
to hear that.
worth not being there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is like the next best thing.
It is. 100%.
Honestly, man, this is so fun, and it's kind of like it's so cool to be able to just hang out with you guys and reminisce and just like really feel the magic of Disney. Like they do such a good job that it translates through videos. Obviously, maybe 50% as much if even, but like just hearing the music lightly in the background, it's just like, oh man, it just brings me right there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I found myself just pulling up the videos randomly throughout the day. Like, oh, today I feel like I want to watch the new Guardians ride at Disneyland, or I want to watch Incredicoaster, or go back in time and watch the California Screaming.
Oh yeah, man. The amount of times I watched different Disney shows on YouTube is embarrassing. Like it actually is.
You
Like-
kind of just go into a rabbit hole. Like once you see one, they recommend all of them. You're like,
Well, I guess I'm here. I guess
Yeah.
I guess I'm watching the Disneyland Paris 2009 fireworks. So, sure.
I was
This is
watching
where
like,
I live.
Shanghai Disneyland, like ride POVs. Ugh,
Mick, just a couple people will mention to turn the ride audio down a little bit.
Yeah,
so
I
they're
turned it
having trouble
down a
hearing us. Okay. Adam Bankhurst, by the way, is not really the splash, but in chat asking who's going to the Disneyland, the Star Wars hotel, when it opens.
100%. I'm gonna find some excuse to get kind of funny there. There's no way we don't do that.
But I mean,
Yay,
with all
thank
going
you.
on, that project's on hold now. Like they are moving money away from that for other projects just to get through the
Sure.
coronavirus closure. They're just focusing on getting rides that are in the process of being built or nearly done builds finished.
Yeah.
And then in a couple years they'll finish everything else. Which sucks to hear, but I mean, we're gonna get it eventually.
We'll
like
get
I
it
don't
eventually.
think Marvel Land will open this summer like it's planned to.
Oh no way.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't think
So
there'll be a
sad.
I don't
park
think
to
the
be
park
open.
is opening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not expecting the park to open anytime soon.
Which is fine. Let's get through this so that we can come back stronger than ever, man. Like, can you imagine how amazing it's gonna be to be back in the park?
Oh my God. It's
I will cry openly. I will just I would just stand there crying. My wife's just gonna look at me like, get it together. No, actually, my kids will probably be like, get it together, Dad.
Yeah.
But somebody on Twitter was saying that the first day that all the parks are open is gonna be awful because it's gonna be vloggers everywhere.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's every day.
Yeah.
So, this is the drop, by the way, in Splash that always gets me.
Yeah.
I always get that, like
The
you actually go
darkness, man.
down and back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
And I always scream so much louder than I probably should be when that drop happens, because you're anticipating the big one, which is kind of the magic of the little drops. Is you think it's the big one. You think it's the big one now,
Totally.
especially on your first time. If it's like your 300th time, like you know when it happens. But your first time, you're like, oh my god, is that oh my god, is that it? And then you know when it.
You know.
So the reason why this is my favorite ride is because like I can ride Space Mountain, let's say like 5-10 times in a trip, and it starts getting old after a little while. Like the drops, the turns, the spin, nothing really like affects me as much. What I've always loved about Splash is I could ride this ride back to back for an entire day, and it scares the life out of me every single solitary time. Like literally, I'm a panicky person with rides in general. The first couple trips I went with my wife, I literally had to be like, I need you to hold my hand for the entire line and the ride. This is when we were just dating, and she's like, what? But like, so I'm mostly over that now, but Splash always requires me to be like, hi honey, I need you to hold me.
See, I don't know about you guys, but I love the Guardians ride / former Tower of Terror, because I just love
Never been
watching
on.
everybody else's reactions.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Especially the little kids.
Like, oh my god, it's so great. And that's coming from someone that was really scared of Tower of Terror, not because of the ride itself, but because of the creepy and the spooky. Like, that's not my thing. Like, Haunted Mansion took me a while to get on.
Here we go, though, guys.
Ooh.
Woo!
Sure.
Oh, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
there
picked
it
my
is.
nose in the picture, just so you guys know.
So what's your guys' go-to pose for that?
I think it is picking my nose.
So funny, man. I just never look good. Like, I don't really pose for the picture often, and whenever we do need to pose, you know, typically, it being me, some type of gang sign goes up, and I don't mean it to be a gang sign, because apparently it is, because every time I look at the picture at the bottom, my hands are all blurred out, and I'm just like, I was just being me. But, you know.
I always try to just do some ridiculous face, or do like the I'm falling, like pretend I'm falling out of the out of the ride kind of thing. But like I don't know, I don't do the same kind of poses I used to, because now I feel bad when I accidentally ruin like some kid's picture. So I now try to, now that I have kids, I try to be like more mindful of who's on the ride with me, because I've had one too many pictures lost mysteriously down the rapids. My go-to
It's all
usually,
good.
actually my go-to for space though is I usually take my shoes off and hold them over my head.
Really?
Yep.
That's hilarious.
I do that during the ride. I'll slip
That
them off
is
like right before they get
so dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the last. I only do it for the picture. Yeah, I know that I've ridden it with the lights on. I know exactly how much space I have around me. I used to also read copies of PC Gamer or Game Informer for pictures as well. That's
Oh.
it's just those little dumb things.
Have you guys been on Space Mountain or any of the specials that they have when they retheme it for like Star Wars or even for Christmas or Halloween?
It's Halloween and Hyperspace Mountain.
Yeah, I've done hyperspace. We tried to do
Ghost
we tried
Galaxy.
to do the Halloween one. Yeah, we got in line and then it cracks lightning and a spooky laugh happens while you're waiting outside. And Berta and I were like, "Forget this. No, there's no way we can ride that for like
I
a
got
full whatever.
forced
Let's go."
on Ghost Galaxy, and I did not like it. It was very scary. Like, the projections are basically, the projections are like big ghost things that are like.
That is true. My thing is, I feel Ghost Galaxy is my least favorite reskin of Space Mountain, because like I don't really like the music. I feel like the vibe of it all just doesn't feel complete, and like I feel like the visuals are at odds with the music, because the music's a little bit more like Disney scary. But you're right. The projections are actually kind of horrifying. Like, those ghosts aren't like friendly. They are way more like demony than you'd expect.
Right, and they're just they're so creepy looking, and they kind of like move and jump out on you. Like, I did not like. I was like, I hate this. Why would you do this?
Space Mountain is probably my favorite ride. It's probably between that and Jungle Cruise, but
Oh my god, me too, Tim.
it's the puns, man. They just get me.
Dude, they're
But
so fun.
Yeah, they're good.
But with Space Mountain, there are versions of it like with the music that I really like, and there's some that I feel like just aren't as epic and impactful. But Hyperspace Mountain, the Star Wars version, is
so cool.
It's 10 out of 10. Like, you go up, you go into hyperspace in that tunnel, and when you drop down, you're in an X-wing TIE fighter fight. It is so cool.
Going around the turns and you like making ships explode as you're going around is such a crazy experience that I wish they brought over to Disney World more. But it's just such a unique experience at Disneyland, seeing that happen, and like them having all the sound effects from Star Wars there too.
Yep. And like the green lasers flying by.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Chef's kiss.
Let's first decide on our next ride before we start talking more about Space Mountain.
This is so real. All right, let's go. Let's go. Where are we going?
Space Mountain, have we been talking about it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Oh, yeah, we're not in real Disney, so we can just run clean across. Why not?
Yeah,
Exactly.
we need to actually
We
walk.
won't get tired.
Oh, y'all, hold on. No. Stop. I'm going to be that guy right now. We are going on Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk underrated rides, I'm giving it to my boy, Sir
It's
Winnie.
an underrated.
Like, the thing about this is the ride's not great. It's actually weird. This is such a good ride
Yeah.
as a break.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
as
It is. It's the
you've
perfect
been
break.
walking and there's never a line. Absolutely never. So you can just get on this thing and it is an acid trip. Like, they just let
Dude,
Winnie the Pooh get so high on his own supply of that honey. It's ridiculous.
That's an actual episode.
Oh
for the
yeah,
record.
I love it.
It's not out of nowhere, which is even, I don't know, maybe better about it. Like, this is an
No, it's
episode
actually canon.
and a song and like a whole thing.
So when I was 7, I actually went to Disney World. That was my first park. And I remember going on this because I grew up loving Winnie the Pooh, and the heffalump part just like scarred me for
Those things are scary, man.
Yeah.
for life.
So
I know that episode because I was scared of it as a kid
Yep.
as well. Freaked me out every time.
100%. It's so frightening.
I've never been to Disneyland Japan. I only went to Tokyo Disney Sea.
Which
So
Disney
Disneyland
Sea
Japan
is one of the best Disney parks ever made.
Oh,
that's
it's
unanimous.
It's fantastic. But
This is where I would curse a lot because I haven't been.
but Disneyland Japan is very, very, very similar to our Disneyland. So it's like I had to make the call, and I'm like, it's just not worth it. But one ride that they have that we don't is a Winnie the Pooh ride that my friend James Burke, who is probably the biggest Disney park fan I know, he swears it is one of the best rides. Hard stop. And I'm like, it's hard. I find that hard to believe. I've actually never seen a video or anything. I don't really know what goes on, but he's like, dude, it is some next level stuff.
Well,
The thing about these rides, these storybook rides, are like everything is so close to you, and I'm like, whoa, bubble, guys! Like all the Fantasyland rides, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're totally gonna run into that door. We're totally gonna run into that wall.
Yeah.
Well, you felt that the most in
Look at
Mr.
this.
Toad's Wild
Look
Ride.
at this. Look at what's happening right now.
He leaves his body too for this.
Like, I love it.
But you're talking about rides that are different, and I think the best one is Shanghai Disneyland and their Pirates ride. Because they have more of the movies
Video
in
walls.
it. The
Yeah.
more video
I just
walls, they have
watched-
better animatronics. Like they have a live Davy Jones animatronic there.
Yeah.
The Imagineering story, the episode 6 is about half of it's about Shanghai, and they did talk about the Pirates ride, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like it's a whole like battle, and
It's so cool.
oh my god, it looks so cool.
Are you guys gonna go to Shanghai once they finish their new expansion?
I want to, man.
Was-
I want to go to a mall at some point.
Me too. But I mean,
It's a bucket list.
they're adding Corona, Arendelle, and Skull Island from Peter Pan with their own little areas and rides.
Oh,
What
wow.
was the first one?
Corona from Tangled.
Tangled.
From Tangled.
Not the coronavirus, no.
They already added that. Too soon. Too soon. Yeah, there we go. We did it, guys. We
Happy
saved
birthday.
Pooh from OD.
This trip.
It's the best when it is your birthday, and you're like, me too,
Hey.
me.
My favorite episode, and let me see if any of y'all feel me on this. My favorite episode of the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was when they went under Christopher Robin's bed and there was all the dust bunnies.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was, it's iconic. It's so good. Is that show on Disney Plus? I want to watch that episode.
I'm
I don't
sure
know,
it
but I
is.
think
I'm gonna
I
check.
sing that theme song when I wake up sometimes to help me get out of bed. I'm like, gotta get up, gotta get going.
Oh my God, yes. All right, sorry guys for my little detour. I guess we can go.
No, it was a
on,
must do.
We're
We
over
always
here,
Do that
so-
one too.
Yeah, it's right there. So, we were talking about Space Mountain before, and that's why we're on our way over there. I went to Disney World during Christmas time, and they just had their first Christmas party. They rethemed Space Mountain to be a Christmas rock music theme. Like, they're blaring
Interesting.
Christmas rock music throughout the ride and flashing red and green lights everywhere.
That's cool.
It feels so epic. I went on it like 3 times in a row because it's like in the it's only during the after hours stuff that they do. The
Oh,
special
cool.
ticketed event. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
Sorry, which park was this in? Did you say?
Magic Kingdom,
Oh, okay.
and it's like the Mickey and Minnie's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Oh wait, stop right here.
Yeah,
That's cute.
Turn to the right. At this place at the Carnation, whatever it's called, cafe.
Carnation
Yeah.
Cafe?
Wait, turn to the right a little bit more.
That was not Carnation Cafe.
It-
It's the.
Yeah, it is.
so-
Well, whatever it is. Walk up to it. Go straight. What's that billboard say? The Riverview
Riverbell-
Terrace, I think.
Riverbell Terrace.
Riverbell Terrace. Yeah, there's 2 best friends, David and his wife's name. But they're a couple that both work here. They've worked here for a decade, and
Oh,
they
wow.
actually met here.
Oh.
So every time I go to Disneyland, I go say what's up to him. He's the coolest. But yeah, they legitimately 10 years ago met here and are now married.
oh, that's adorable.
The only reason
Magic.
I know that it wasn't Carnation Cafe is because when I said I performed at Disneyland, it was like it was right by Carnation Cafe. It's not there anymore, or it's the stage that they now do like the little plays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was like so like it's in my brain.
Yep. I love it. This game is so rad. Like for everybody watching that's never been to Disneyland, like this is it. Like it is not like kind of some things are there. Like this is literally
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
to one.
Yep.
Except there's more people usually.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Well, this game
Like, I
is
don't know
available
what
on
day this is.
Game Pass if anybody wants to pick it up,
Oh, cool.
which is how I found it. Like looking through Game Pass, saying, "Oh, what game can I download now since it's before all the big games are about to come out? I have nothing to do really, so I'm just gonna play a small Game Pass game and play this." And like, I fell in love with it at first. Listen, the mini games aren't the best things for the rides, but you're still talking to the characters running around the park, seeing everything like you normally would. And you'll see something really funny here in a second. I'm gonna see if you guys can spot it. Let's get closer.
I mean, I saw the ball that all the kids inexplicably touch and lick, but
It's kind of
oh, Captain EO.
Captain
That's
EO.
the grossest.
Wow.
Oh man, what a
That's a
show! What a moment! If you guys haven't seen it, you gotta later go watch a YouTube video of the entire show.
Mhm.
It is so weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Captain EO was amazing. I grew up seeing that, and then when they reopened it, it's my wife's favorite thing. We literally will just randomly break out in music from it.
I love it.
I
Now,
love it.
Before you get into Space Mountain, I will say, back at the little Captain EO theater, for the last couple years, they have a attraction there called Path of the Jedi,
Yeah.
and it's just a recap. It's like a 7-minute recap video of the Star Wars saga, the Skywalker saga, and it's not a 4D thing. It's kind of just you're in a theater, but like you're watching this super well edited, super hype video, and there's like some smoke and lasers and lights and stuff that happen along with it, and I highly recommend it. I feel like it's one of the underrated things that like people don't give enough credit. But even having said that, you could just YouTube it and watch it now and get the same experience, and it is hype.
Huh. I've never actually seen Captain EO before, so I'm definitely pull it up after this. Check it
Definitely pull it up. It's better with the effects, but it's been closed for a while, so you gotta just watch it online when you're able to. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah. Alright, pulling up Space Mountain if it'll play. There we go.
The fastest you'll ever get on Space Mountain.
Right. Well, like the walk to it alone takes a good 10 minutes.
Yeah. Now here's a mega pro tip for people. This is kind of a newer thing. There are very few rides at Disneyland that have single rider lines, which pretty much means if you're alone, you get to be in a different line. You get on way faster for when there are people getting on the ride that there's like empty spaces with families. And they last year added a single rider to Space Mountain. It's super hidden though. You have to go like behind the Path of the Jedi building, and you're able to get in. And last time I went, we were able to get on Space Mountain in like 12 minutes.
Well,
It's so worth it.
I always do single riders line, even if I'm with a group, because you just almost walk right on sometimes. And especially if the line is super long.
Yeah. Guys, look at this.
Oh, it's so
I love the Space Mountain theme so much. It's my ringtone.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It's so good.
It's amazing.
This was the ride that blew my mind the first time that I went to Disneyland when I was 18, where I had just experienced nothing like it.
I still get freaked out when I'm on it. I want to raise my hands up like on every other roller coaster I go on, but this one I'm still terrified of raising them up even an inch above my
I'm
head.
so scared.
I will only do it in the picture area. I am not confident at all enough doing it anywhere else.
Oh man.
I love the video for this because it's like, I don't know where the hell I am. Right
Just like the ride.
Just like the ride. Like that's the craziest thing. I've told this story on podcast before, but you know, everyone has experiences with this ride of, you know, oh, the lights were on, and it broke down. It's so weird seeing everything. But my horror story of Disney parks is when I went to Disney World. It wasn't Space Mountain that broke down. It was the People Mover outside that broke. So all the lights around were on. So all you saw going through this was shadows of the roller coaster structure itself. And it was horrifying because it just looked like you're just going through these like planks.
So this is like another ride that's different from Disney World, where in Disneyland you sit like side by side. It's like two people per row. While like in Disney World, you're almost like on the ground with your legs where the person in front of you's arms are. Yeah. A tiny little rocket.
Oh. Like Matterhorn style.
Just about like Matterhorn style.
Yeah. There's the picture.
Yeah, in the hyperspace version of this, that last like 10 seconds is just, it's chill inducing because it really feels like you just won a battle, and then all the lights start flashing and stuff. And like if you just watch people like at the end of the ride coming out, their faces, it's pure glee. It's just pure, just like, oh man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What was I gonna say? I'll think about it in a second. So where do we want to go next, guys? The world is our oyster right now.
Well, okay, so here's a fun thing that I would recommend. I don't know if we have access to do this, but something that I don't think many of us, if any of us, have been able to experience is the new Star Tours.
I don't have that pulled up, but I can always pull up a video for everyone to watch.
Has anyone here been to Disneyland since they added the new Star Tours end?
Did we?
Yeah, I was
We
just
didn't do
there.
Star Tours.
I was just there in February.
So, I mean, was it not amazing?
Yeah, no, everything Star Tours does is freaking amazing. And I love
if we can find the new Star Tours, I think we should check it out, because what happens with Star Tours is, at least back in the day, it used to be there's 3 scenarios that you go through, and they used to be randomized, and it would be from all over the Star Wars saga, prequels, and original trilogy, whatever. But then once Force Awakens came out, it kind of went where 2 of the things are randomized, but the 3rd always ends you up in Force Awakens time.
The new
and
one,
then
yeah.
when Last Jedi happened, like, it was a similar thing.
So happened, I think.
but-
they pushed it again.
But now with Rise of Skywalker, they changed the end, and I don't want to spoil it. I just want to watch it together, because it is so incredibly cool.
So in this game, they have Star Tours, but they don't have Star Tours. Like, they just have the signage with nothing on it.
I was wondering that because you ran past it, and I was like, did they not get the rights to Star Tours for this?
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder why. This is an older game.
It looks like it's closed. Like, it's closed.
So I think I found it. Let's pull it up and see if it works. 1 second, everyone. There we go. Switching it for you guys as well.
You know, that idle screen is really, really great, Mick.
Thank you.
I legitimately thought it was a loading screen, honestly, from the game
Right?
until just now.
No, I actually made that just for this, because my other screen for my Twitch channel is the Persona 5 Take Your Time. So I thought I had to keep something like that for this stream as well. That's very Disney themed. So I think this is the one that you guys are talking about.
It is.
We can't take off. The captain isn't
Oh, there we go.
Excuse me.
Star Tours is another one that I feel doesn't get enough love because everyone's kind of like, oh, been there, done that, and it's still so cool every time.
I always love being whenever they pick the traitor, and once it was me, and them,
it's
it
the
involved
best.
you. I just wish
It's
they
never
gave.
been me. I want it to be.
It's never been me either.
I wish
It's
they
been my
gave you
life
a
so
special.
many times.
I wish they gave you a special pin if you were the traitor too. So they could probably hand those out like candy. Just something that says, "I was a traitor today," or "the resistance spy."
Yeah. So for people watching the YouTube videos, they don't get what's going on. This is one of those 3D rides. So everyone's wearing glasses. That's why it doesn't look that great.
Honestly, I've never seen it without the 3D glasses. It doesn't look that bad.
I mean, it looks off, but it's still watchable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those rides where you're not in a ride vehicle. You're just like in this big room that moves around a little bit, going through a Star Wars experience.
I feel the gravity pulling me.
Right?
Whoa!
Oh snap! I have not seen this.
No. Oh, Belinda.
This is awesome.
This is so good. It is like, it's so intense. It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is so cool. My friend was telling me about this too when we were there in February. We didn't have time. I didn't have time to go on it when we were there.
Oh my god.
And I'm so sad for missing out on it.
You guys, the end of this, like you know how there's always the second transmission that comes up,
Right.
and it's usually a cameo. From that moment on, of whoever comes up in this one, we're not going to spoil, and what happens from that, it is 10 out of 10.
Tim, is there only one variation now?
Look at this. Yeah, there's only one variation. It's all just one thing.
God. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I've for sure not seen this.
Oh, so
I think the
cool.
last one I saw was they did one for the.
Hey, hold on, real quick. So what's happening right now is he's literally like, "Hey, we need your help. There's a battle going on right now. We need every ship possible."
No way!
Oh my god!
And this
Wait,
is us.
what?
This is us being a part of the final battle.
No way!
That is so cool.
When I realized what was going on,
I'm gonna cry.
No, when I realized what was going on, I literally I was with Justin and I grabbed his hand and I'm like, and I was silent screaming the whole time.
Goodness.
Isn't this insane?
Yeah.
Holy
I'm
crap.
sorry, Frank, for this spoiling the last movie for you.
Oh,
Turn off the
gosh.
stream.
Sorry. This is literally like the last act of the.
Oh, I'm excited to do this with Barrett in real life one day. He's gonna flip his.
Oh, he's gonna be.
flip. He's gonna freak out.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like my friend James, I didn't get to go on, but because I was at home. But my friend James was there, and we had just watched the movie, whatever, and it was like the weekend after that. And he called me after they got on the rides, and he was like, "Tim, you need to go on YouTube and watch this right now."
Oh my god.
Okay,
Like I can't believe they did it.
what do you guys think of the new ride there? The Rise of the Resistance?
Oh my god.
I haven't
Friggin'
been on it yet. And,
him.
I'm
think
so
it's the-
mad because I haven't been there yet.
Oh, that's right. The last time you went, it was they just had
But my
the
thing with
Millennium
it
Falcon
is,
ride.
it's the one ride that I refuse to watch YouTube.
Don't.
Don't do it.
I
Don't.
highly recommend.
Just go on and enjoy it.
You have to just
Yep.
experience it.
It's crazy. That's all. I mean, I feel like that's all you can say without trying to get into it. It's amazing. Belinda and I did it twice in 12 hours.
we're
We were the
crazy.
last ride. We were one of the last groups on the first night we were there, and then we were supposed to leave the next day, but we were like, let's just try to get on the Rise of the Resistance one more time before we drive back up. We're like, the latest we can leave is like noon to get back to San Francisco in time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We did it. We got
I
on one
love
more
it.
time.
Good
We
for
hella
you.
did it. Hustlers.
Do it.
I just
But
remember.
Tim, oh god, Tim.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
I almost like you need to like have a reaction video, something.
Yes.
because
Somehow.
it was so like it was incredible. I'm like blown away. And like do not ride like everybody that's watching, do not watch a ride POV of it. Don't just wait whenever
Yeah.
you can go, like later this year, next year, in 2 years. Just it's so worth it to be surprised.
Mhm.
The whole experience, too,
Yeah.
like the line queue going onto the ride itself is its own amazing thing too.
Oh, it's absolutely an outstanding experience from start to finish. My favorite though part about that is just it's not supposed. They ask at one point, "Can anyone read this?" And it's all the instructions are written in Arabic, and I'm the asshole who raised my hand, and like the person working the ride almost broke character, and I love it. It's
So,
supposed to be a bit that they make fun of you for, and I'm like, no, actually, that says that.
so I think we're gonna go catch a quick show of the Dapper Dance.
Oh.
I'm for sure gonna cry.
And while we're doing that, I'm gonna give away the first pin too. So stay tuned for instructions on that, chat.
I really wish I could stop for a churro right now.
Right? Well, they released the churro recipe online.
I know. I just didn't
See,
have the
I
time.
just
or
want you to
effort
pull
make
off
it.
left for a second, go to that Starbucks, you know?
Oh yeah, right here.
Nah, I'm just
Oh,
playing
the
around.
best. Having a Starbucks in both of the lands has
Oh,
been a
it's
life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Starbucks
it's
is
right
in
here,
that
yeah.
market house right there.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh.
So, switch over.
I just received a gift sub.
Hey,
Yay.
thank you, Billy the Door.
Yeah, thanks, Billy, for the gifted
Oh
sub.
my gosh.
That's a game out of 5.
Oh my god, I want these outfits. I want. You already
I got
know
Tim's
which
on
color
blue.
I want. No.
blue.
Yeah, I hate you, Tim.
We can share, we can share.
You can have like a dark blue, and I'll have the turquoise.
No, I need kind of funny blue. You kidding me?
Go away. There we go. Oh, I love the Dapper Dance. Did you guys watch their video that they put out? Like all the Dapper Dance from Disneyland and Disney World singing together?
So good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so hard for me to watch.
Can you pump the volume up from them so that we can hear it just a little more? Or is
Yes.
that going to ruin everything?
You should also be able to turn up mine as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably the better thing to do.
Right click on Mick's camera.
Oh,
And
There
then
we
use
go.
your volume.
love it.
And Darren had a boosting baritone at his gym. Now, Jim had the exact qualifications we were looking for in baritone. He fit the suit. Last but not least, our tenor, Tyler in yellow. Now, Tyler really needs this job at Disneyland.
Chat, if you want to win a chance or have a chance to win a free pin from Shop Disney, type in hashtag Disneyland in the chat to be entered.
After too many days off.
I'll be running it throughout the Dapper Dance video.
Super fun. I'm going to run and get a coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. The Dapper Dance is like one of those hidden gems that not many people watch to stop, but when you do, it's such a great show.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've ever actually stopped to watch it.
Yay! So good. So good.
Just want to watch one more song, or do you want to continue on our journey through Disneyland?
I'm good either way.
Let's go ride something.
All
Yeah.
right.
But for everyone watching, there's plenty of Dapper Dan videos. on
Oh,
YouTube.
they're everywhere.
Please watch all of them. They're so soothing, and I love listening to them. I could do it all day.
For you guys.
Fun fact for anyone that didn't know, Walt Disney had an apartment right there. If you can see above the fire of the Disneyland Fire Department, he had an
Right where
apartment
that light
there.
is lit.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yep.
the light is always lit. If you ever go, it is lit at all times.
It's me, Sombra has won the free pin. I will DM you after the stream. You can coordinate whatever pin you whatever pin you want. And if anybody doesn't know, right now Shop Disney has been posting all their pins online, including the park exclusive ones. So any like the Dapper Days pin, they have a Doctor's Day one, they have all the special themed ones for Disney World and Disneyland are now all available online. So you
I
can buy
need
them.
to do that. I need to do that.
And they
Yeah, I
come
need to
out
look
with new
into
ones
it.
every Thursday.
Do they have the Kingdom Hearts pins online? Have you
I
checked?
don't think so. I think they're just doing like new ones and all the ones that were already available online. But the Kingdom Hearts ones are fantastic.
They're so great.
Yeah, I picked them up when I was there in February. They were really hard to find.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are a store for anyone. Whenever Disneyland opens, if you want the Kingdom Hearts pins, I found them. If you're looking at Main Street right here, on the right side, there's it says a music store, and it's a small pin store. It's the best pin store because it's only pins. If you look to the right of the theater on the right side of Main Street. Oh wait, I'm looking at the stream. Whoops. To the right of the Steamboat Willie sign.
Right there.
Yeah, that Century, whatever it says.
20th Century Music Company.
Yep, music company. Yep, that store is the pin store, and that is where I found my Kingdom Hearts pins.
Okay. Yeah, I was lucky enough to have Billy grab me some before I could go there. Thinking that they were going to sell out immediately. Like the Organization 13 Mickey pin that was gone for
Right.
forever.
I
I mean,
still
that was the
remember.
only one for a long time.
I still remember wandering into a shop and just seeing that and being like, when like they first released, and be like, is Disney starting to acknowledge Kingdom Hearts? What is this? Is this
Oh,
what
yeah.
is this what I think this is?
Alright, so guys, where do you want to go next?
Matterhorn.
We can do Matterhorn. Does chat want to go anywhere in particular?
I mean, we're gonna hit most of the, if not all of it. So
We're going to do our best today.
we're gonna do our best. I vote Matterhorn personally, but I also Indy's cool too. So I just want to do it all.
So Frankfurter in chat said there is no Kingdom Hearts pins online, sadly. So whenever
Yeah.
the park's open again, grab them or make someone grab them, like me, who will probably be there when it opens again. I will grab them for you.
Geekaholics just said I made the mistake and got into pins on my last trip. Started with the Savvy's pin. The Savvy's pin is the expensive gateway into pins
Oh,
because those
yes,
are all
it is.
$200 pins.
You spend $800 to get all 4 of those.
I mean, I'm gonna do it eventually. I have my lightsaber literally sitting right next to me over here.
Mine is in my bedroom, and I'm convinced my girlfriend there's going to be an anti-burglar thing. So if anybody breaks in my house, they're going to meet with a lightsaber as I run after them.
Might just confuse them enough.
And a corgi barking at them too. Yeah, so like the weird thing about this game, like they have everybody like actual characters here, not the costume people. And the characters look really weird too.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happens when you talk to them?
You can say hi, you can wave at them.
Hi, Bee.
Usually he speaks. It's like you can have him sign an autograph book, you can dance with them, give them a high five,
I like that.
handshake them. It's like they have all these little interactions.
Oh my gosh.
This game would be so rad for kids.
Oh, absolutely would be. And it's what it's meant to be, because it's like a Kinect game where the kids are supposed to play together to go through the rides.
Cute.
So, Matterhorn question: what's everyone's preference, left side or right side? Because there is a little bit of a difference between the two.
Oh.
I've never been on the Matterhorn.
All right.
Oh my God, Matterhorn's amazing. Yeah, I don't have a preference really.
I just go on.
I prefer the left side just because the right is I personally find a little bit slower. The left side is a shorter ride, but it just feels faster. But I also preferred the ride before they changed the cars, because the cars used to be that you literally sat with like another person, usually hopefully a member of your party, in your lap.
In your legs, basically.
And it made it much scarier.
Yeah, I didn't like it because like how it used to be was way too shaky. Like,
yeah, no, it bounced around a lot.
Yeah, it like lessened. It still does, but before it hurt more. I
was like
love
wood.
the remake though, like this new version where like you see the beast, the abominable snowman. It is so
yes. Oh, no, the Yeti is amazing.
Yeah,
yeah, it scares the out of me.
But
Got myself.
Disney World, Mick, the Expedition Everest, that is one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on.
I keep hearing that.
They actually, you know the part where you go up the hill and they have that end track?
Right.
It's broken? They got rid of that, so it's like you're about to go off a cliff.
What?
Oh my god. So basically, Expedition Everest, like, you know, it's a whole roller coaster, and you get to a point where it basically looks like the track is broken, like the Yeti or whatever has broken the track, and then the whole rest of the ride you go backwards. Like it goes all the way up this hill, and then you stop, and you're like, where does the track go? Oh no, it's broken, and you just fly backwards. It's insane. It's so fun.
Yeah, I did it, and I absolutely loved it. And my favorite thing was when we went on. The people I was with told me, like, they were just like, dude, there's some stuff that you've never seen before on this. They didn't tell me what it was. And so when that happened, I was shocked. That ride was awesome. But they changed it?
Yeah, like
how does in the last year?
Well, somebody said that they sometimes remove it. It's not a permanent removal.
Oh, there we go.
The Yeti.
They sometimes remove it to mess with people. Oh, God, love the Yeti.
At least it's not Disco Yeti like at Disney World. Where it's stuck in place and like, they just have a strobe light instead to make it look like it's moving.
I honestly, with those Yetis, I blow out my voice screaming Yeti at these.
So loud.
So I was looking at to find some footage of, I guess the new GoPro has extreme smoothing, and so they tested on the Matterhorn.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine if there was no smoothing. You wouldn't be able to see anything.
Oh no, I've filmed the Matterhorn. It's almost unusable footage every time.
Oh my god. Christ. When there's a parade going on, you can see it from the Matterhorn, like little windows, and it's so great.
Yeah.
So I think this one has the other side as well.
Huh.
Oh, that's cool. Go around with the...
Yeah. Dude, Matterhorn's a great one. I feel like it's one that I haven't been on as much as I'd like because the line is always way too long. Like, there's not, like, good times to go on the Matterhorn.
Ever.
No.
It's constantly busy.
Okay, yeah, so we have both sides here.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, this is one of my bucket list rides I want to go on to next time I go to Disney.
Oh man, it's great.
Like this, my friend and I, we decided like I think it was like last September. We're gonna drop work one day and say we're off these 3 days, go to Disneyland because that's when they had Star Wars Land open before Disney Worlds. And they live closer to Disneyland, so I used all my mileage to get us boat tickets, get us hotel rooms. And we just went and had like 2 or 3 days there, and it was one of the best things ever. Just running around the park, just two guys, just doing whatever we wanted. Especially in the middle of the week.
I love it.
In October. And Disney's definitely one of those fantastic, just drop everything and go places.
We live in Phoenix. We used to do that so many times. Actually, the first time Justin, my co-host, formerly of Constant Calibrating and stuff like that, the first time he ever visited us in Arizona, his flight landed and we just like looked at him like, "You want to go to Disneyland?" And we just left from the airport picking him up and just drove 5.5 hours to Disneyland on a whim.
Awesome.
Because that's what Charnel and I used to do when we had money and no kids.
So what's next? What are we doing?
We can do Small World. We can go take a sneak peek at the new ride coming to Disneyland in 2022.
Ooh.
So I'd love to do that because I'm gonna be real. I hate Small World.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I was waiting. I'll be real. Can I be honest with you?
Frankfurt in
Does
the chat already voiced his opinion that we
like
should
Small
skip.
World?
I like it when I have nothing else to do and it seems like everything else is long, and plus it's a hot day. So it's like a last resort ride.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because to me, Small World is AC. Like that's all that it is. And even then, I don't know.
But the thing is, if there's a line, the AC's not even worth it because then you have to wait in the sun forever to get on that ride.
Just a heads up, guys. We're going to take a look at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is supposed to be coming to Disneyland in 2022. So if you don't want any spoilers,
travel.
Feel free to just meet the chat. Go away for like 5 minutes, and we'll be back after that.
I
I'm
actually
excited for this.
already saw the POV for this at Disney World because I loved Great Movie Ride. As someone that
Yeah.
like loves movies and Disneyland, I loved it a lot, and so I was really bummed that it was gone.
And
But yeah.
this seems like a very great replacement, though, and you guys will see why in a second.
I guess you'll see. But the trackless
Oh,
thing
that's not the
is
right one.
pretty cool.
Why did I pull the wrong one? Hold on, guys. I need to find the right video.
All good. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see this one because I haven't seen the video yet, and I'm one of those people that like I just can't wait to get to the parks to watch the new rides. So I always watch like the new shows and stuff with the POV videos. But Rise of the Resistance is the one that I'm like I need to just be strong. So it's like this Mickey thing. I'm like I'm down. I haven't seen it yet. So
This is one of the coolest rides you'll ever see, next to Rise of the Resistance.
okay.
Like I've watched this ride at least 10 times already.
It's the technology in this ride that is just bonkers.
Well, think of it this way: they are putting you in the middle of a cartoon, and I wish this video had the intro sequence because you're watching a short. The screen breaks, like it explodes, and the screen rises up, and you're out walking into the screen that has the short.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is where you get on the train.
There's always an argument between amusement parks and theme parks, and it's the immersiveness that I love about theme parks so much, and it's something that Disney is just king of. So
They're so good. It's like, and I'm sure we'll do Pirates later. Like when you're on Pirates, you're in a different world.
Yeah.
Like it could be a sunny day, and all of a sudden it is nighttime. You are on the seas.
so great.
Pirates used to scare me half to death as a kid because like that sudden immersiveness, that sudden shift into this otherworldly place. It's
Well, actually, when I went to Disney World first when I was a kid, that was like one of the only rides I'd like to go on. And I went on like 6 times in a row. Yeah, just
is-
look
oh
at
my God,
this.
whoa.
Yeah. This is with a new animation style as well. And it's just so cool how they made everything so involved.
Yeah, wow, this is a great use of like projection and animatronic.
It was such a big space. Like I was so curious about what they do with it because that ride took up so much space. The Great Movie Ride has so much going on. The bad acting was my favorite part of every time.
The cast members just phoning it in here and there.
Oh my god.
Like, it's just so cool.
Wow.
And you can look around everywhere. There's a different story being told. Pooh
Yeah,
has
this
his
is rad.
own story happening during all this. You have to look around for.
Like I can't even tell you what this used to be, what room this used to be. Like it. They
Yeah,
did
no,
such a good
that's
job.
nuts. A little goatee.
Go.
solid callback.
Yeah, for this being kind of like a storybook ride, this is pretty cool.
This is gonna be the next level of every ride they're gonna be making with this type of immersion. Because they're making this for almost every ride now, like a nice queue that leads you into the ride.
Whoa.
You get on it.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah, like where am I? Where am I right now?
Just look how it changes though.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's the same room. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
What an amazing use of space. Wow. Wait, this is insane.
Yeah. Like imagine you just took it to 11 for this.
Wow.
Look at all those bright, smiling faces. It's so nice to see you. Come on in. Don't be shy. That's right. Everyone to your positions. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're all waltzing so beautifully together. Now, let's.
Conga.
That's great. There's a good length for this too.
And they have a new song for this ride as well that's I have stuck in my head all the time. And you see the transition too.
Oh my god.
It's just so magical.
Yeah, man, this is unbelievable. Frankfurter in the chat says this will definitely make Toontown relevant again. I totally
Yes.
agree. Man.
100%.
You know, Toontown being it's such a cool thing. I remember growing up, Kevin had went to Disneyland when he was like 4 or 5, and they came back with a bunch of pictures, and I was so jealous because it was like pictures of him and his sisters at like Mickey and Minnie's house, and just the
Right.
look of it all. It felt so real, you know, because I was the same age. So when seeing the pictures, I'm like, oh my god, you got to go there, like that's so cool. And then when I was 18 and got here, this was one of the areas that I was like, all right, like I don't really need to see this, you know.
Like
Yeah.
I only went to Toontown once when I was last at Disneyland just to go on the
Roger
Roger
Rabbit?
Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
Roger
yeah.
Rabbit.
And even just like walk around, see the houses, because it's cool seeing where they all live. You can walk through them all, and that's its own fun little experience.
Totally.
It's just not nearly as fun as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
We had fun taking a Disneyland roaring on the roller coaster in Toontown, but yeah, it's neat.
The
But
Gadget Go Coaster.
yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it.
All right, guys. Where to next, or should we go catch the parade?
Let's check it out.
Let's
All
check
right.
out Parade.
Which parade?
It's the new Magic Happens one,
Yes!
which is so cool.
We were
Yeah,
there for the opening
it's-
weekend.
In Florida, they
We
have
were
like
there
a
opening weekend.
fair. It's like a special carnival fair round that they have for the kids area. But then you have a cool little ride called the Barnstormer, which is like based off of the Goofy shorts where he's teaching people what to do, like how to ski, how to fly, and so it's Goofy flying around, crashing through stuff. And it's a pretty cute ride, but that's really about it.
I think that was my first roller coaster as a kid when I went to Disneyland, I guess it must have been. And then that was my first roller coaster. I was like, I can do this. I can be brave as tiny Alyssa. And I did it, and then I was like hooked. And then after that, my second roller coaster was Big Thunder Mountain. So that one
Hell
always
yeah.
like really special to me. It's like I can do anything. I went on that roller coaster. Let's do them all.
I love it.
See, my first one was the Woody Woodpecker roller coaster at Universal Studios in Florida, and that immediately made me hate roller coasters. Until I was 13, my friends took me on this one back in Ohio, where I'm from, Cincinnati, where you go first, like it's people sitting back to back to each other. You go up, you go through all these loops, and you go the opposite way.
Mm.
All right, we are here for the parade. So I'm
love
also
it.
doing another pin giveaway during this too.
My first roller coaster was California Screamin' when I was 13.
Oh,
so I
that's
was
a
afraid.
great
Oh,
one.
that's
Wow.
Great
a
one.
big one.
I was afraid of roller coasters, but since I was there with the dance team and everybody was going, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can do
Man,
it.
a
I can do
loop
it.
roller coaster is your first one.
I know.
That's...
I can do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some real stuff.
I can't even ride that. It screws my equilibrium too much. It's sad. I
Barrett
miss
won't do
doing
it
it.
with me either.
I used to do it just fine, but it hit a point where it just started messing with my equilibrium and I couldn't anymore.
She's looking into my soul.
Yeah, this is.
It's paused for you too. Okay.
It's paused in Discord.
Is it? Just pause for me. Let me reset for you guys.
I haven't seen a parade in so long.
Maybe it's laggy because it's the official one, so it's high
Super HD.
quality. Yeah.
It's gonna look good though.
Change the quality a little bit. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I know this is gonna be an unpopular thing to say in this. I'm not a parade guy, man.
I'm not super into them either, and my son, my oldest, can't handle anything loud, so it's my excuse to not do them anymore.
I'm not a parade person either, but these floats are so cool.
Oh yeah,
you should see the floats.
I still appreciate it, man. And like, you know, Paint the Night is epic. Like, it's super cool, but I would rather a show any day.
I just like riding rides. I
Yeah.
just don't want to stop riding rides.
Well, the best thing about the parades is like it opens up. Like a lot of kids are wanting to go watch it, so the lines are a little bit shorter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I fell off of parades for a while. Like I was like, oh, it's prime like riding time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was like Paint the Night where I was in
Look
line
for a
for
second.
Matterhorn. And I saw like a glimpse of Paint the Night and I was like, okay, I need to watch this. And then I
Yeah.
watched it and was like dancing and like jumping around and like screaming like 100%. And I was like, oh my God, I think I love parades again. And then that was my favorite parade for a while. And then this parade happened and me and Alyssa were there opening weekend and it blew me away. I loved it.
Wow, so you like
so
this
much.
more than Paint the Night?
It's hard because Paint the Night only happens at night, whereas like Magic happens like a day and night parade. I love them both, but this one was so good.
I like
I love
the IP choices in this one and the
Yes.
music in this
Yes.
one.
Yes.
But besides that, I'll Paint the Night all the way.
Why is this not working?
This song is so great too.
It
This song-
is.
It's
And-
a really good song. I sang it forever after we saw it.
All right, so
Me
the
and
parade-
Alyssa are like, where do we get this song? How did it not?
so,
Immediately, we were like, "Where can we stream it?" And you
Better call, baby.
till
so
like
the
last
parade
week.
isn't working that well, so I'm just gonna go through it a little bit, so we can all just see like all the cool
If
floats
you can
together.
find like just a regular video, not like a
Yeah.
Disney Parks video, it probably will work better. And there's a few good ones if you just
There's
search.
so many good
Magic
ones, yeah.
Happens parade.
Actually, our wedding photographer is also a huge Disney person, and she has a parade. This parade up. I don't know if I can find it fast enough though.
We'll find it. If not, we'll just go through like one of these videos and look at all the floats together.
Yeah.
The floats are so top tier. It's insane.
Yeah. Like
I
I love the
definitely
Coco one
silently
so
wept.
much.
The Coco one is
Yeah.
bonkers.
I want
Yeah,
to see
it
it.
really is.
If I can get
Wow.
my computer might be having enough from all the stuff going on. It's
yeah.
giving up.
I mean, this is about the time in the day when you just need to find the bench and just sit and watch the
Yeah,
crowd
yeah.
anyways. So
Need food.
you need the
Get
food or the
churros,
people watching
true.
bench.
I don't have
What's
that
your
many tabs
guys'
open though,
go-to
Frankfurter.
like snack? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just chatting with Frankfurt in the chat.
Oh, I was just since we're all taking a snack break. What is your like go-to snack at this point of
Pretzel.
the day?
Oh, churros, 100%.
Yeah, see,
I've
for
been-
me, the Dole Whip it keeps
Dole
me
Whip.
going. I just need that. I just need that sugar rush. Otherwise, like real talk with the food, it is kind of just like, where can I get stuff fast, quick, with quantity? That's it.
Mhm.
I definitely shifted. Like I used to be pre-kids. It was all about just like I'm literally not going to eat all day. and I'm gonna have a small snack and then a nice
That's
dinner
me.
kind of thing.
Or I
but
pack
like,
food.
or I'll
usually.
pack, yeah, kind of thing. But in the post kids time, it's like honestly, put food in me every 2 hours, or I'm gonna hate everything about it.
I'm usually a turkey leg person then.
That's
Oh,
my
yeah.
father-in-law.
I love the turkey
Those are
legs.
dope.
I always get one at the Renaissance Fair. I get one everywhere that I can, even at like Virginia Tech games.
I'm
That's the
so
thing.
not a turkey leg person, and I think
Yep.
it's because I'll eat like a quarter of it, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
done
it
with
is
this.
excessively big, and it's not a fun share food. It's a little nasty.
Oh no,
Here,
it's
take a
so
bite out of it.
greasy, but
God.
Yeah. My favorite food, and it's not Disneyland, but it is walking over to California Adventure and just getting as much beer as they'll let me hold.
Oh hell yeah!
I actually really enjoy going
The
to
video's
the
working very
stand.
well.
Yep.
Yes, good. Oh, the version of this song. Let's go, man.
yes,
No,
it's the
I
rock
think
on a
that's-
rock.
I think that's why I really like this parade, and I think I put it over Paint the Night is because Paint the Night is amazing. The lights are just stunning. But as far as craftsmanship, the costumes, the floats, like the details are what really get me about this parade.
This one's really personal for me too. Like standing there watching, I'm gonna start crying right now. Standing there watching and I'm like seeing Maui up there because I grew up in Hawaii. Like I grew up learning all about Maui and hearing his stories and hearing songs about him, and to see him in Disneyland up there, like as a Disney character in a float, is just like an incredible representation, I guess. And so
I
it
love
just, like,
that,
really
man.
gets me. Like
Amazing.
oh my god, I'm crying.
Of course.
But yeah, I just stood there and like silently wept. Like I was just like, it hit me, and then there were just silent tears as I was standing back there watching him. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Like
No,
this
man,
is
it's a
my
beautiful thing.
This is my favorite float right here. I just love Coco so much.
It's
Same.
Yeah, this one made me cry too.
This is
I
gorgeous.
spent the whole parade just crying.
And like they have Dante hopping around, as even in his
Yeah.
Alebrije
Yeah.
form.
It's so beautiful.
like
Ugh. I'm just gonna start openly weeping, you guys. I'm sorry.
Do it.
this one is
You're
real
good
special
company.
to me too because it was my niece's first time, and she just turned 2.
Oh,
And
man.
it was her first time at Disneyland. I was there with Alyssa, and then my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece did all the kid stuff, and then we met up with them. And this was her first parade, and I got to like have her on my shoulders and see her get really like she loves Moana so much, and and to see her eyes light up. I've never been to Disneyland with a child, so I've never seen that wonderment in a child's eyes, and it just
Wow.
never
Thank you for the
forget it.
5 gifted subs, Frank. I really do appreciate it. And for all the new
Yeah,
subs,
thank you guys in the chat. You guys are doing great.
I have a special emote for the stream that Billy just posted. It's my dog Sushi with Mickey ears.
Oh,
I love that. Yeah, Belinda, it's crazy. Like, legitimately, one of the only reasons kids is Disneyland. Like,
yeah.
I
Going with,
Oh,
yeah.
want those
Going with
experiences.
kids
with
is
them.
amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
My mom, I went with my mom over Thanksgiving break, and she's kind of been there through every phase with little kids, with my sister and I, with me when I was 13, and then as an adult. And so she's seen every experience and has loved every part. But of course, her favorite is an adult because then we can go around, drink, and like, especially
Yeah.
like downtown Disney, just go to a bar, hang out there, and chill.
Yeah.
They all have their own benefits and things you can do around the park, especially as an adult when you go with kids.
Yeah, there's something to enjoy about every stage. Like, yeah, I've done it many different ways and did my first visit with my kid cousins, a kindergartner and a second grader, and it was amazing. Their first time at Disneyland. It's so fun.
This
Look at
floats.
the water horse, man.
The water horse is amazing.
Okay, I'm having technical difficulties again, so I'm gonna dip out for a sec.
Okay.
Switch headphones. They died on me again. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Go for it.
We'll be here.
I was gonna say one of the things we do around the house now is my oldest, is 5 years old. So what we do is we check his height, not based on actual numbers, but as far as he's concerned, it's what rides he'll be able to go on when we get back to
Oh,
Disney.
Oh, that's
That's
adorable.
great.
Like
Dude,
it's just
growing
like
up,
Yeah.
Kevin was so short. Like,
Mhm.
me and my brother were always like so much taller than him, which I guess is still true now. But like, it was to scale back then, where he didn't have a growth spurt until like he was like 12 or 13, and he would literally wear. But remember Heelys?
Yeah.
Oh,
With the
100%.
wheels in the back. He'd
I
wear
had
those,
these.
and then he would pop up and stand on the heel of the shoes to get a couple extra inches just to be able to ride roller coasters at different theme parks and stuff.
That's
so
amazing.
funny. Because he was legitimately like 4'8".
Well, that was the problem when we took the family for Roran's 4th birthday last year, and based on his doctor appointment, he was the height for a good amount of things. And then we brought him to Soren, which we're like, okay, he'll definitely go on Soren. Brought him to the thing, and I'm not exaggerating, he was maybe a half a centimeter beneath that thing. Of course, Disney's very particular. I'm like, look, but the doctor's office is like, nope, but we measure on our own thing. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, a year later, though, that kid can go on, I think, only Incredicoaster is the only thing he's not tall enough for.
Yeah.
It might be a little intense for a 5-year-old as well.
I wouldn't, I can't do it. So, like...
I love Incredicoaster though. That new retheming of it, and all of
It's
Pixar
great.
Pier as well, is so well done.
I love
It's
the Pixar
fun,
Pier
man.
stuff.
Like the adorable snowman snow cones.
I'm all about the Toy Story Midway Madness, or Mania.
Oh,
I
I
can't
Oh,
remember which
so fun. There's a video game of that as well.
one. Mm-hmm.
I
was a
don't
Wii
think
game,
it's in
wasn't
here. They have the Astro Blasters.
No, it's not in here. There's a standalone Toy Story Midway Mania game on
It
Xbox.
was for Wii. I think it was.
Or it might be for Wii too. It was,
Wii or something.
yeah, Xbox 360 Wii generation, so
Was that like that Pixar Blast game?
it might have been. I don't know, but like I know that one of my friends, Darren, literally uses that game to practice for when we go to Disney, to California Adventure, and he knows all the secrets to get like insane scores.
That arm, like, it tires out your arm so quickly.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I feel like I had to work out after that.
yeah. Some of us have the advantage.
Like, this parade is so well done.
I cannot
man.
believe they made a sword. I think it's so great, especially because they do have the Sword in the Stone over by the carousel, and I know like a lot of kids these days probably have no idea what that is, and
No, it's great, especially with Disney Plus though. It's like get familiar, man.
and it's like oh my gosh, oh we pulled it out, oh it's sword. Like it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Saba's brought up a great point, and that's the Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios.
I haven't done that.
It's so well done. Like, you are in Andy's backyard.
Yeah,
So-
the land is so cool. The only problem I had when I was there was it was still being worked on. I mean, it still is. There was no shade at all.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
Everything was
I
out, and
actually
it
heard
you
that,
just
yeah.
beaming in the sun, and I can't handle that. I am way too white.
Well, like, all the shade are in all the lines for the rides, which are always long there.
Yeah, Princess and the
Tiana-
Frog, man.
Tiana
What
and
a
Naveen's
great movie.
choreography in this parade is my favorite. They
Oh yeah.
dance, and it's so cute. Oh my god, I love it so much.
That's one of my favorite hand-drawn animated movies.
And it's the last one, man.
It
Like
is.
I want more. I wonder if we'll ever get one again.
I don't know.
I hope so. Because I feel like they've been
Yeah.
experimenting. They had like a good mix with Moana, because they had hand-drawn and 3D animation in that.
Right, with the tattoos.
Yeah. It's always a possibility, though.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think what blew me away was this last float and how Aurora's dress is both pink and blue. Like, that's just
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that's just crazy. Like,
Whoa.
I was screaming. I think I was screaming too loud. I was like, it's pink and blue! Like, it's
Yeah.
both! You
Well,
don't
we-
have to choose!
Because there was a second where we were like, wait, it's pink. No, it's blue. No, wait, it's actually pink. Like, we were like, it's happening. It's
Like, what is happening? And I love when, the parades are so practical. Like, a lot of it is just, they built that. They thought of the costumers thought of that. And it's, I love it so much.
The mix between Imagineering and costuming is such a fantastic job. Alright, let me go back.
That was so lovely. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Of course.
I,
Congrats to Digital Virus 816 for winning the second pin.
Congratulations, Digital
Congratulations.
Virus.
I will DM you after the stream so we can pick out a pin for you.
Love it.
Let me switch over for you guys as well. We'll be back on our adventure.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Did we get Alyssa back?
I'm back.
We did.
Yay!
She's back.
I'm just using wired headphones now.
All reliable.
I know, they've tried to get fancy with Bluetooth. The annoying thing is I've been using them all week for calls and never had an issue. And then today I was like, then suddenly they're like, no, we're not doing it today. We're on vacation.
All right, guys, where to next?
Is it time for indie? I'm in the mood.
Yes.
For indie.
I think we're
I'm
Good
like
call.
in the mood for indie.
Can definitely do indie.
Indie mood.
I had learned that they had an ice thing in Indiana Jones ride, like right when it first came out. They had this special thing where ice would drop, so it looked like the roof was falling on you at the very beginning.
God.
But then they had to
Yeah,
remove
they
it because
changed the
break it
ride
down.
so much. Like, if you go back and look at old YouTube videos, like, there's some crazy stuff. There used to be a lot more pyro.
He's not
Yeah.
there
Uh-huh.
anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, Instant Karma. This is called Disneyland Adventures. It's a game on Xbox Game Pass where you get to run around the parks and just have adventures with all the characters.
Tim, you've never seen it like this, ever. Have you ever seen
No,
it like
no
this?
way.
No.
Never in my life.
Oh,
Indy is the you get a fast pass or you don't go.
Oh, totally.
And it's still a hell of a
Well,
wait.
again, this is where like the Max Pass thing is way better.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can get it right into the park.
I feel like if we went to Disneyland and we're like, oh, you only have 1 hour with people, then there, I think Indy's the ride you take them on. Like, this is the ride to me that like best encapsulates everything that's awesome about Disney. It's super themed. It has a queue that's amazing. It's a thrill ride. It's based on a property people love. Like, it just has it all.
Well, it also has a ton of special stuff too. Like if you pull on the rope, things happen. Even if it says don't pull the rope.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like all the special stuff.
And I'm genuinely scared when people are in the room with like the spikes and like they're jiggling the stick or whatever. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna die.
Also, I
I,
learned that.
I
Like,
avoid the little
I
imprint on the ground, and I like jump around it like I'm on an adventure. I'm like, I'm helping, Indy.
but I learned that like, you know, there's 3 doors in the beginning of the ride.
Right.
It was actually supposed to choose which door do you go through, and they all meant different things, but they went to the same ride.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this music, the reveal, like it's just like what? It's
Yeah.
Is it actually possible to ride this ride and not sing the Indiana Jones theme song the whole
No,
walk
it's
off
not.
of it? Because I'm usually belting that out at the top of my lungs the whole walk back.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big indie like movie person, but like this is just
oh, even if you're not, like
It
it,
transcends, man.
yeah.
It's
Also
just a cheating
hilarious.
experience
Yeah.
that I think can only be rivaled by Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom. Because it's like the
I
same.
don't know, man.
Dinosaur is fun, but this is so much cooler.
The thing, this is something that's relevant that people care about. So
Yeah.
it's the score, really. Like, you don't need to like Indiana Jones. You can't not like this theme song. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
I genuinely every time, like I know this ride, I've ridden it a bunch of times by now, but I am genuinely afraid when I am on every time. I never sit on the right side. I don't like the thing.
No, my wife won't sit in the right seat. She will not sit in the right seat under any circumstance.
Snakes. Why has it gotta be snakes?
I love that they do those lines too. From
Yeah.
So that it just like captures Indy's character in the movie. I think this might be my favorite ride.
I mean, it's perfect. It's
so
honestly
perfect
perfect.
detailed.
This is my favorite Disneyland ride, I should say.
Oh, and also this part. Like, are you kidding me? This is
I know.
legitimately terrifying. Like, I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine being a kid.
Like
I
you're
mean, deal
fine,
with this.
no matter what.
And then when they with the blow darts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I duck
God.
every time
duck
to this day.
every time.
I just
Every
brought that
time.
up. The best part of this is the right here, and pretending like you're being shredded with bullets and
I
bullet darts.
hate it so much.
I'm literally twitching right now hearing this.
Yeah. Absolutely getting goosebumps.
I love it.
I love this one. Yeah.
Oh man, and then the boulder. God, this ride
Yes,
just
yes.
keeps giving.
It builds.
I mean, it's so convincing every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
this is the time. This is the time it's actually gonna fall on.
Mm-hmm.
This
And
is
I'll
the time
be
I
honest,
die on this ride.
If that's the way I go out, I'm totally okay.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I also have. Let's see if I can get this switched over. I do have a Jungle Cruise queued up.
Let's.
Since we're over
I was
here,
just about to say, we go to Jungle Cruise. It's always like 5 minutes. Let's go.
I always like to go at nighttime specifically because
Yes.
I find
Oh yeah.
even more funny at night.
There's some, yeah.
Also,
Some rides
I'm
are
crazy-
good.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I'm a crazy person and I follow cats of Disneyland. So there's an Instagram that just posts the things that are around Disneyland, and a lot of the feral cats are on the. So I have now made a new game going on the Jungle Cruise where I also look
For the cats. I love
I
it.
look for
Yes.
cats.
My goal in life
Mm-hmm.
is for me to go on Jungle Cruise and for you to be the skipper.
Thank you.
Oh man,
I told Alyssa that. I was like,
I
how
would.
fun would the guys be as skippers?
we should
on
That's-
Jungle
we
Cruise?
should take
It's
one of these
all I
videos,
want.
mute the audio from the skipper, and have them talk over it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be
Here's the thing, man. Like, real talk, me and my friends, when I first went on this ride, I was kind of complaining about it because before I went on, when we were in the queue, I'm like, I thought it was a safari. Like, I was like, I don't care about this. Like, let's get on something more relevant. Like, it was my first time at Disneyland, so I was like, I'd much rather go on Splash Mountain or Indy.
Oh,
These things that I was like, this looks really lame, and I was like really complaining. And then we get on, and they start making the jokes, and I was dying. And
Yeah.
like, they're like,
I
looking like, yeah,
genuinely am
this is the
laughing
ride.
so-
And when it ended, I was like, guys, that was amazing. Like, why were they so good? Like, no, like, they're all like that. Like, that's the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I thought we just got a special experience. Like, I didn't get
You were
it.
blessed on your first trip.
And from that moment on, it totally, it just made me be like, oh my, this is what I want to do with my life. It's like, I want to be a skipper.
So great. My
They're-
favorite, one of my favorite jokes. I'm trying to think like of my favorite jokes, and like when you're in queue or you're boarding, someone said like it's better to be overexcited than overboard. And I love that. That's like one of my favorite ones.
All right, let's do it.
Sitting in the waterfall right there is my good friend Bertha. She's been in there a real long time, folks. Look at all those wrinkles. Just goes to show you, if you stay in the water too long, you'll turn into an elephant. Squirt, we talked about this, buddy. You can't spray on
I just wonder how much liberties they have to make their own
buddy.
jokes.
Don't you do it.
Yeah.
Down.
It,
Down.
I think they have a little bit because it's always different. Like every skipper has
Every single
A
one.
little bit different, yeah.
There's some of the jokes that all of them say, and one of them is
Yeah.
coming up
This right here used to be one of our
that I hope is in the movie.
I guess it's been taken over by apes.
Because as a reminder, this is becoming a movie
Yeah.
With the
with
rock.
The Rock.
that got delayed.
A whole year, yeah.
And they left the lights on. Now we'll never get it turned over.
My favorite are the apathetic ones.
Uh-huh.
Like apathetic
apathetic.
women is always my favorite because there's just
Yep.
something about it that's just so good.
Now, some people say bamboo can grow up to 60 feet. I like to say 70 feet, but that's a whole nother story. Directly behind me right here is Spencer
Flying over every kid's head.
Yep.
and Dr. Albert Falls. Don't worry if you forget the name. We'll be going over it later. This is the Nile River, the longest river in the world. It goes on for Niles and Niles and Niles. If you don't believe me, then you're in.
Denial.
I love that.
Denial one.
I like the audience not responding to that at all.
They're like, what?
How can we tell? Their ears are shaped like Africa? That's a good guess, but no, this gentleman right here had it correct. We know that they're African bull elephants because we are, in fact, in Africa. Geography. We're now headed into the African Veld, folks. Here we have this lovely geological formation. I like to say it rocks, so we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I usually hate puns.
There we have some straight.
No, on this
No,
ride.
I love them, but I love making fun of people who make puns.
Oh, I live for them, man. It's all I have.
My girlfriend's in the chat, and she knows that I just make fun of her relentlessly for making puns all the time.
The one that the zebra's sleeping. Oh, they're taking care of me sleeping. What? funny.
with the rhino. You will always get his point across. In the end.
Yeah.
Now, folks, as we come around this corner, go ahead and be real quiet and look right through that bamboo thicket right there. Can any of you see it? No? Well, y'all should have been able to see it, because if you looked very, very carefully, you would have seen absolutely nothing. Just like my future. We're now headed into the hippo pool, folks. Now, hippos are very dangerous creatures, but a good way to tell if they're going to attack is if their ears are wiggling and if they're blowing bubbles. So, by those standards, we are in huge danger. Don't worry, folks, I'll scare them off.
See, you know this is good because we're all quiet. Like
Yeah.
we're actually engaged watching
sitting.
this.
Oh, I have the biggest smile on my face right now.
And it scared them stiff. You see their blank faces? We're now headed into headhunter territory, folks. Not a good place to be headed. But they do know how to put their heads together. I'll try and translate for you as we go by. Yep. Yeah, I didn't get a word of that, but they said something about an ambush. I think it's that. Yeah.
The translation one is different every time. Like everyone always has that.
Yeah. My mom says that Small was a must ride every time you go, but no, this Jungle Cruise is always a must ride. You have to go on
absolutely.
at least
Yeah.
once. Just get a new skipper and see what they say.
Eighth wonder of the world.
This is my favorite joke for some reason. I don't. It's so
It's
simple.
so funny.
It's the classic.
It's just funny. It is a classic.
the backside of water.
I mean, look at the entire chat is full
Yeah.
caps doing the joke. How would you want to know?
Love it.
Here we have some limestone right here, which is funny.
I was nervous to admit that, so I'm glad this was a safe space for that. I was like, hey,
Oh, no, it's-
it's not.
Friggin' love it.
It's not particularly clever or special. It's just a good one.
And all the skippers too, they made a special video while they're all quarantined,
Oh.
making their own little jokes, doing their own special tours. It's adorable. I'll post a link on Twitter after this
Please.
Please.
because it's like a 20+ minute video of them all doing their own spiel for the Jungle Cruise, and they ad lib, they use their own props in the house to make the jokes. It's old and new skippers too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I love how
Ah.
the cast members are getting
Sorry.
through this, and like
Yeah.
Disney supporting them 100%.
Got a great deal going on right now. One of your heads for two of his. Any way you cut it, yours come out ahead. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You just survived the world famous Jungle Cruise. More importantly, you survived my jokes.
Ah.
And now a word from our sponsor. The Jungle Cruise is brought to you by Miracle Motors. Because if you made it through the jungle, well, it must have been a miracle.
That was.
That's a good one.
I haven't heard that one.
That's a great joke.
Brought to you by Trader Sam's Cannibal Cafe. Finding new and innovative ways to serve you.
Ah,
So good. I'll never forget riding that for the second time with my brother, which was his first time, and seeing Cool Greg like just dealing with all of that was
oh
one of
my
my
goodness.
honestly,
You keep
like,
saying my brother, and I like it's not registering in me that like all these
Cool
things
Greg.
are cool, Greg.
yeah, no, having Cool Greg at Disneyland, it's an experience of its own, man. Like he is so into it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Since we're over here, let's go to New Orleans.
Let's do it.
Pirates
Beignet?
were beignets at Disney World. They have spiked beignets.
Excuse me?
Oh, Dang.
Like they have a little funnel that they put into the beignets that you can fill with Fireball and other liquors.
Are you
my.
lying?
No.
Because
Um.
I need that.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, it's Tiana.
It's Tiana, yeah. All right, guys. Pirates or Haunted Mansion?
Yes.
Ooh. It just yes. And let's get pirates out of the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Then we'll do a quick stop by Club 33 on our way to
I love
Haunted
it.
Mansion.
I've never been. This
One
is my
day,
first
one
time.
day.
So I didn't do Haunted Mansion for a long time. to me. Pirates took a while because I was scared of it, and then Jungle Cruise I just didn't think of for a while. Like it's sort of like a pass by it. And then I went to a talk at the Walt Disney Family Museum up here in San Francisco, and they did a talk about Mark Davis, who's like, one of the 9 Old Men legendary animators, and he was an animator that transitioned into Imagineering, and he designed Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and Jungle Cruise. And so now when I see it, it's just like, oh my God, Mark Davis drew this up. And so now they're like my favorite rides.
One of my favorite fun facts is that, imagine you're working on the ride, Walt Disney just walked up to him and said, "We need a song for this ride, make it." And that's when he came up with Pirates Life for Me. Like he just made it in a couple days, and now it's the most widely known pirate song. Yeah.
Man, I mean, obviously, the best story about Pirates is Greg Miller being absolutely scared out of his mind about this ride when he went when he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And if you don't know this story, the story involves him being scared of drops and roller coasters, and his mom promising him that there's no drops or anything. It's not a scary ride. Because a lot of people forget there are a couple drops in this ride, including what's about to come up right now. So what happened?
It's a good
was
drop too.
They were riding it, and Greg was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." He's like, "I don't trust you. It's pretty dark," and it drops. He starts yelling out of his mind. They had to stop the ride, and they had to take him off of the ride. And like, it was like horrible, and it shut it down for so many people. And then years later, I got to go with him, and we got to make up for it. But he was still scared. He was still scared.
Yeah, there's a debate in the chat there, like which Pirates ride is better.
There's no debate. It's Disneyland. Like
I love the Disney World
1000%.
queue, but Disneyland ride is way better.
Oh yeah.
Disneyland feels like you're in an expansive world. Disney World feels like you're in a room. Like you can see the ceiling in a way that Disneyland like hides better.
Well,
agreed.
Disneyland ride is a thing where like you are going by a restaurant in the bayou, kind of like the Three Caballeros ride at Epcot. And I think it's such a nice touch. Like you feel like you're actually there. It's lived in.
It's so great, yeah.
Blue Bayou is the restaurant at in Disneyland and Pirates, and I highly recommend it to people if you're gonna go for a full Disneyland experience. Like it's the place to get dinner reservations.
Yeah. And you just know, like, there's a special spot above Pirates, which was supposed to be Walt's wife's place, and you can now do dinner reservations there, but it's like $15,000 total.
Oh my God.
But you can split that between a full group of people, and it's like they have special drinks that are themed just for you guys, special menu that's made just for it.
Huh. So if you get 15 people, it's only $1,000 each.
Exactly.
No big deal.
15,000 franc.
So the last few times I was on Pirates, the piano playing pirate has always been gone, and I thought they like took him out. You'll see him in a bit. Like they took him out to like refurbish him or something, but they play the piano notes like he's supposed to be there, and I know he's supposed to be there. I'm like, where is he?
In the same way, the goat scream, you have to
go. Exactly. Yeah. Which is your favorite pirate, skeleton pirate down here?
I like just the first one you see, with the storm, and he's like kind of like with the wheel. I just love it, man. It just gets you in the mood. Like this ride, I said it earlier, like I think it's the most immersive because it's so insane to think this is all just in one building.
Yeah.
Like you go from caverns out into a full sea battle and then into a town. It's like, how is this all in one place? Like it feels like a sense of time goes by and a sense of like area changes.
This was also the original ride for the park,
which is so nice.
Yeah.
I think that drinking one, the one that's like glug 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 glug.
Oh yeah.
And you can see the room.
Yeah, he's cool.
It's like,
he is cool.
It's coming up.
Yeah, the piano. So you can hear like the organ-ish playing, and like that guy, like it's just the piano's just not there, and I'm just like, but you can't. I hear it. Where's it? I don't know why. Like twice now.
Pirates was my absolute favorite ride for pretty much most of my childhood, and I still had to be dragged on it almost every single time in Disney.
That's funny.
Like, it just... I'd always be excited, like, afterwards, like, I want to ride it again, but the first time of every trip was, like, my dad being like, get the F over yourself, we're going on this.
And this is another one of those rides where it's a hot day. You have a good 10 minutes on this. And
Oh,
it's nice and cool.
It's the
smell.
relax your knees.
The
It's
smell.
the
Get a
ride
little
we go on
splash.
twice today. It's rest.
Dead man tell no tales.
God, she's back so many memories.
There's an argument, like, the story of pirates. Are you going into the past, or like, what do you guys think the story is of pirates?
That's
Like-
so. I've actually never thought about it.
No.
So
Yeah.
there was one time where I thought about it, and it was like killing me. And actually, this part right here was put in after I was like having an existential crisis about it, because it changed. Like, if you look, you can see the face. is
Oh,
half
wow.
And so
I'm
it,
gonna rewind it
it
for a second to see that again.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
So,
seen
like-
this.
so it's fairly new, like within the last year. So like you skeleton
Oh.
it's such a small thing, you know, like it's a mirror, but it then gives you the story. And when I was asking myself, like, what is the story of pirates? Like, are we going back into the past? Are we coming from like what they are now and then being like, oh, this is what it was in its heyday type of thing? And then they put just that little guy with the half skeleton face, and I'm like, it tells you the story right there. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the same, they're the same pirates, and like, and it just brings so much to the story.
I also love this. I loved hearing that when one of the Pirates movies was coming out, they got rid of the Jack Sparrow animatronic at the end, and he was actually there.
Oh,
my
right,
God.
yeah.
So he was
It was
freaking
like
out
a-
people by actually moving and jumping out of people.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
I feel like that was a movie surfers, like,
Oh my God, movie surfers.
Oh, movie surfers.
Oh my
is
god.
my dream job,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you
Wait,
so much,
that's-
Punctified, for the 10 subs. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. Man, movie surfers. What a moment. Remember
I
Mike's
learned
super short
so-
show?
Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna
Yes.
yes, bring that up because
Do
I
you
do it
know-
sometimes. And I go, now you know.
Now you know.
Like super
Do you know
short
who
show.
the little girl is?
Yes.
Yeah, Allison Stoner.
Yeah.
Allison Stoner, man. It's so funny. The girl from the Missy Elliott video.
Yeah.
No way.
Also, Camp
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
Camp Rock.
Camp Rock.
And that too.
She's still doing stuff.
I wonder what Mike's up to.
Video.
Now that we're thinking about it. How you doing, guy? I learned so much from movie surfers. I think it's like what really got me into like all the little details about the parks, because they take you behind the scenes. And I think like the Astro Blasters episode I remember like so vividly. Gosh.
Astro Blast was also such a fun ride that I wish it would update a little bit more,
Me too.
because the blasters never always seem to work.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the fun of it. You're just like, why isn't my laser in the
But
tiny hole?
you'll have a round where you kill it, where you become like a Space Command leader rank, or Space Ranger rank, and the other times where you get nothing, even though you're like nailing every shot.
Oh, so this is the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
red.
For
The new red.
anyone in the chat that doesn't remember, this used to be like a woman auction,
Yeah.
which is not so great nowadays. And they changed it so that red is the head of the auction, which is really cool.
And, she's
And I love
actually-
that they kept the same type of animatronic face. Like they
Yeah.
didn't put a projection, they didn't do any of that. They did it in the same style.
And red is actually a character that walks around the park there too.
What?
Like
I
in the
did
beginning
not
of it,
know that.
I skipped the beginning of this video because they actually had the person filming it interact with that character.
Oh my
I'll
god.
go
I
back to it before we go back to the game.
Cool. Alright, tag yourself in this realm.
I'm the dog.
Oh God.
I'm the pirate with like the foot hanging over the bridge. Where's me?
Oh, that's me and Kevin right there. Kevin's chasing me.
I love
So
there's a video
annoying.
that was going around at the beginning of quarantine of a family that reenacted.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
My favorite one in the kitchen, eating that pirate, hanging off the counter and drinking.
I'm probably the pirate arguing with the cats, honestly.
I want to be the pirate that is hanging out with pigs. Not because he's a sloppy mess, it just sounds like fun to be friends with little piggies. They're cute. I don't want to be like a mess with the pigs, I just want friends and hanging out with you.
Seabass says, I want to be the one singing with the donkey despite the fact that I can't sing.
Look at us, the feet and the piggies.
Oh, I didn't even plan that we were close to each other.
It was fate.
It was just never too far apart.
It's one of my favorite scenes too. It's just the dog sitting there. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like them just begging for the dog to come over to them, and he just is having none of it. Because he now reminds me of my dog, Sushi, who he will ignore us until we have something in our hands that he wants, whether it be a sock or a treat. And if we try and chase it, go after him, he will run away thinking that we're playing with him.
So funny.
I feel like people forget to look up during this point.
Uh-huh.
Do it. It's real great.
The first few times I rode this, the Disneyland one, because I only rode Disneyland as an adult, the first couple of times and I started looking up, it would actually give me like very minor panic attacks.
Like you
because
kind
I
of
was
just stare at it for a while, and you're like,
yeah, like it was not great.
This scene gives me so much anxiety.
This one too.
And when you're stuck there, you're just like, oh, be careful, be careful.
It's the same thing as the blow darts in Indy. It's like I know I'm fine, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
duck every single time that gun's pointed at me.
Subversive, man.
So yeah, this scene coming up right here, they took out animatronic and put Johnny Depp in costume. Freaking
So,
wow.
so cool.
It was a movie service thing, I swear. Where he went and like peeked through the ride and then, oh.
So I'm gonna go back for a second so y'all can see the character Red.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
it's so
she's
rad, man.
beautiful. Yo-ho!
Alright guys, let's get to Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion, baby.
So yeah, right up here,
Oh yeah.
they have a special room that's like, it's all so beautiful. There's a Disney food blogs. They went there once. And it's like a 4-hour experience where they give you all these drinks for free. Well, not free, $15,000. But it's like all these special themed drinks, desserts, food. And then at the end of it, you get to watch Fantasmic
Love it.
from the balcony.
Ooh,
So it's like your
I
own special
love
viewing area.
Whenever I do like a sit-down lunch, that place on the right, I forget what it's called, but they have like these fries that are so good. Oh my god, I love them.
Club 33 should be right back here. There it is.
Yep.
There it is, yeah.
We're here.
It's so inconspicuous. So who's
I
letting
know,
us in?
man. It's awesome. I mean, actually, the funny thing is, if I remember, they did a renovation. No, I have my timeline all messed up of when this game would have been versus what I experienced or whatever. But this door is just it's not real. Like you go here, the actual entrance is around the corner. So you kind of just use they put this up here to like distract people from being able to get in.
And you can tell who's going to Club 33 as well. Because the guys walking around in suits walking only to this area and leaving with
Oh,
a
yeah,
nice big
totally.
bag of stuff.
Yeah, no, Club 33 is an experience unlike anything I have ever done in my life. It is so pretentious, and it is like they design it around because they know that it's going to be a lot of like people in suits and stuff. So when they see people that seem like legit fans that get in, like we got to do, they play it up a lot. Like literally, you're walking over and you're just looking down. They're like, so over there you can see the peasants, and it's like, oh my god. I'm like, I've never enjoyed anything more than this in my life.
They have 2 separate dining rooms as well. They have one for the actual club members and one for the people who were invited by a club member.
So then there's this other room that is a full bar, and so we weren't supposed to be able to go in there, but we did anyways, and they took way too long to kick us out, so we got to experience it, and it's just it is so bougie and so extra.
Amazing.
That's one of my dreams, is to go to Club 33 one day. Just find somebody who's a member and let me in.
It's so hard.
I
let me
bet.
tell you.
So I was able to add one of the best parts of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yay!
Because of course,
Truly freaks me out.
so I think in Disneyland it's an actual elevator. While in Disney World it's just a thing that happens, like you're there and it looks like it's moving. But at Disneyland it's actually like you are going down.
Yep.
Ugh, I talked about Mark Davis earlier, but like he drew all of these portraits, and it's just like so amazing. I love it.
This is one of the rides that impressed me the most. Like seeing all the hologram ghosts and stuff. I just didn't understand. Like what I'm a like video producer. I like thinking about like the behind the scenes of how things happen.
Oh my god, I've never seen this. I'm really scared. I'm like really. I've never seen. I always don't look up. Oh my god, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's
That's
so
so
dark.
funny.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, but that's someone hanging, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But
By Disney standards, it's incredibly dark.
I remember watching like seeing all this like the ghosts dancing and stuff and being like, how is this happening? Like I don't even understand how I'm in real life looking at this and it seems like they're there.
and
It
then you
does-
think about like, you know, that's technology from the 50s. That's
Oh my
still
God, yeah.
relevant, and that's how well done it was.
That's the part that blows my mind the most, is the fact that, like, I've ridden this, I can't even tell you how many times, both
So
World
that-
and Land, and I just can't process how they did this.
That Catwoman portrait, I have a little figure that is at my desk
Aw.
at work. Probably collecting dust at the moment, but she's there.
Yeah. I also love the variation of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, I was actually about to bring that up. It's so well done with how they retheme it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's one of the most impressive
And transform.
rethemes.
And it's so smart how it lasts from Halloween to Christmas. It's great.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's both.
Because it's both. Yeah, it's perfect.
Oogie Boogie Bash is so much fun. And how they retheme California Adventure for it, especially with the addition to the Guardians ride and retheming all of Cars Lands.
The Guardians Ride Halloween theme is not great.
You didn't like
I
it?
haven't done it.
I mean, compared to the original Guardians, I think it is like nowhere near as cool. It's more of a thrill ride. There's a lot more like up and downs happening.
Well, I like how it's the aftermath where everything is escaped and it's all mayhem.
Oh, that's cool. The Q stuff is cool. It's just like there's just something about hearing the pop songs, like the old school pop songs,
yes.
that is just so hype.
They make the ride. They really do. The music.
But also, it's the way that they retheme Cars Land is really cool.
No,
They do
man.
such a great job with that. And that-
Cars Land in general is
I-
beautiful.
I was making fun of that when they first announced it, but going there, it's so much fun. And the
Are
ride.
you a Cars hater?
No,
Cars?
I'm not a Cars hater. I just thought the land was dumb at first.
I
When I
literally
was
saw
18.
Cars I saw Cars for the first time 2 nights ago.
Oh goodness. And
It was fine. Like it's not my style of Disney movie.
Cars
be
is
blunt.
fantastic.
I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't
Cars
what I.
1 and 3 are fantastic.
I'm with you. 1 and 3 are fantastic.
One and three are great.
My 5-year-old
I-
loved it. That's all that mattered to me.
I liked Cars, but it wasn't until I really watched it as an adult that I like really appreciated Cars and like all the bonus features and like Route 66 and the history of it is just it's so
Oh, yeah.
packed with such great stuff.
But also, the ride at Disneyland is so much fun.
It's a great ride.
So fun.
It is, yeah.
I honestly can't wait to go back to Radiator Springs, having now, because by the time I'll have seen all 3 movies, so I can't actually wait to go back. Having seen it, because like going there before seeing the first movie was like watching the movie. I was like, oh shoot, they really made that place look exactly like this. It was blowing my mind watching the movie.
It's crazy, like down to the flowers and.
Yeah, but the ride is so good. We closed out our last trip last year in January. My wife, myself, and my stepdad closed out California Adventure. We rode that 3 times in a row, and it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Nobody was there.
See,
It was completely dead.
I've had bad luck with that ride recently where I can't get on because it's... So I haven't been on it
You're cutting out a
in
little
a
bit.
while. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? I don't know if I should keep...
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, I've had a lot of bad luck with Radiator Springs recently. I haven't been on it in a while because every time I go, it's broken down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Oh man.
Yeah.
My experience is the wait is just
The wait's
ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
that's a ride where you need to have a fast pass for,
Or single rider.
or single rider.
Or
Yeah.
go really
even-
late at
yeah.
night when all the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
Well-
That's true too.
That was our plan, pretty much. We wrapped up the night. Both of my kids fell asleep on my father-in-law's lap, and we were just like at the hotel, and we just again, my wife, my stepdad, and I, and my cousin's husband. We all were just like, let's just go do single rider, Radiator Springs. We got there, and there was nobody there, and we just were like, and it was 10 minutes before park closed, and they let us ride it one more time after the park closed, even. So it was like, okay, awesome.
Oh, wow.
See, this is the scene that I just couldn't wrap my head around how they.
I
know,
still
this is
can't.
amazing.
It's mirrors, man. It's like legit smoking mirrors.
I know it's
So perfect. That room is perfect.
yes.
Man, this ride is next level.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to look at. Like
Yeah.
you almost feel like you don't have enough time.
You don't.
Hatbox, ghost. Do it. Do the thing. Do the.
I know, I love this.
Do the thing.
Corey was asking, I have a wife. I do not have a wife. I have a girlfriend. Not married yet.
Okay. Oh.
I want those paintings of the stretching hallway paintings. I want them so badly. Have you guys seen the posters they're doing for Epcot for every land and ride?
Yes.
I'll send you a link to it, Tim. But for every
Okay, cool.
ride area building, they have a special poster, and they're releasing limited edition. It's like $90 per poster that are actually numbered. Because they're only making 100 of each.
Oh.
Send to me.
Wow.
I will, but also
No.
on Etsy, somebody's made them for like $6 each, and they are all so cool.
That's awesome. I love that
I
stuff.
love.
But Belinda, you have a super dope hallway, right? Or like your staircase?
I do. Lots of. I'll take
I'll
pictures later.
I'll send them to you as well, Belinda. But yeah, they have all the new rides as well. Like they have one for Mary Poppins for the Moana area.
Oh.
The Moana one was great.
Yeah.
I love antique like Disneyland posters. It's like my thing. I love it so much. But yeah, I have a stairwell, and like the entire right side is just Disney stuff, and it's mostly inspired by the Lamplight Lounge, where like there's just like pictures,
Yes.
but there's also like actual like the mailboxes on the wall and stuff like that. So on my wall, I have a lot of framed lithographs that I get from pre-ordering all the Blu-rays, and then around it, I'll have like Just like little things like I have like these Incredibles medals, and so they're on the wall, and it's just decorated like that.
I love the Lamplit Lounge. That's such a cool
It's
area with all the artwork from around the world and the T-shirts and posters for all the people who made it.
So great.
I love their menu. I know that's a weird thing.
Yes.
The menu is beautiful.
Lobster nachos at the Lamplight Lounge.
Oh my God, lobster nachos. That is the food of Disney.
I want them right now. I am so sad I don't have them.
Well, I think the best spot there is
I've ever had those.
the best spot there is sitting on the water, watching the credit coaster go by, just having a nice drink,
Drinking a couple beers,
Yeah.
getting them lobster nachos. Good time.
My favorite drink, I think, is the Celtic drink or whatever, the Brave themed drink, because it's got whiskey in it. Celtic Cure, I think, is what it's called.
Yes. I guess we don't have too many rides left, but what do we want to do next?
No, we don't, which is crazy.
We have
man.
mostly
We're doing
Fantasyland
We did
left.
it.
Yeah.
Should
head
we
on over
do Snow White's Scary Adventures just to show everyone how creepy it is?
How horrifying it is.
So they
And
closed it.
Yeah, they did, finally.
They're changing it to be less scary, and I think I wrote it for the first time 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, how are kids going on this ride? Because I'm frightened.
Well,
out
it's
of
like
my
that
mind.
super scary ending, and it just says they lived happily ever after. Like, how?
Well,
You should have
well,
almost
that's the
died.
thing that's the thing is the ride ends not on a happy thing. I like the first time I wrote it was the same. It was like 3-4 years ago, and I just sat there. I couldn't even get off the ride. I'm like, I was just shaking. I'm like, what the, what? Did they all what?
Yeah, they're too scary. I don't think I do them very often. Even Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh
Yeah.
no, so
Also scary.
I try to do Mr. Toad and Peter Pan every trip, but it's not as big a deal because again, my oldest doesn't like loud sounds and he's super claustrophobic in like the inside rides, so it's like we don't end up doing them as much when do kid trips.
Yeah,
Plus,
Peter Pan's a tough one because
Peter
the
Pan has a
queue.
long ride. Or wait.
It's a
I'm also
Yeah,
surprised
it
by how
is.
long that queue is.
Well,
Oh,
it's just
it's
because
crazy.
they didn't set it up correctly. Like it's one of the only like failure Disneyland kind of flow throughout the park because the way the queue is and where it is, like it's just there's no way to allow it to go faster.
they can't expand it. It's just
Yeah, it's kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
But I
It's
love
an amazing ride though. So cool.
Well, the queue is also beautiful. Like you're going through
Yeah.
all their house and seeing everything, the pictures of the family.
Pull the stone out. Pull the stone out. Oh, is it not there?
It's there. Well, actually, part of this game is like you have a special magic wand that affects the worlds, and one of the things that you did was you actually pulled the sword out.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So let's see. Snow White is over here. There it is. Nope, that's Pinocchio.
yeah, it's this.
Yep, there we go. There it is.
Oh god. This is another one of those like personal space bubbles because when the witch is offering the apple, I'm like, yo, back up. Like,
Yeah.
Get out
I
of my
don't know
face.
the last time I've
Get
been
out my
on this
face.
one.
Dude, it's really scary.
I might get real scared.
Because again, I didn't go to Disneyland as a kid, so like when I started going to Disneyland, you just didn't ride it, and then it was a few years ago where my friend was like, "You should just do them to like do them and know
Just
how
so
you
you
feel about
know.
them." And then I was like, "I never want to do them."
Oh yeah, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Disney Magic Kingdom is such
Is
a beautiful-
good.
It's so short though. I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
That's another one I had to miss out on. I've never done it.
I heard good things about the mine train.
It's fun. It's just like a minute and a half long roller coaster.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you can't get if you can't get on that one quickly, it's almost not worth it. Just I mean it's good, but like I just found
Here we go.
waiting was too much.
Here we
Yo,
go.
Dark Knight, if you have any tips and information you want to share with us, that'd be awesome. Since you won the Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Oh yikes! So well done. It's so scary. I hate it. I hate it so much. The music, you
I know, even the music.
they focus so much on the evil queen, which makes it even more disturbing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always interpreted this ride as like the story of the evil queen more than Snow White. Which, since she wins at the end of the ride, I mean, sorry, she does. That's how I've always felt.
Oh.
And this is where the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is different because it focuses on the dwarves and like you go on a mining adventure with them leading up to when they meet Snow White.
Oh yeah, that's
The
cute.
screaming, it's like they live happy ever after.
Yeah, it's just like they're all dying in a storm, and then nope, happily ever after.
Oh, we're done.
Yay!
Pacing of that ride is not great.
Weird.
No, not at all. Well, since there's no line for Peter Pan, let's go on it.
Yeah.
Oh God, imagine. The only time I've been on Peter Pan was I was at an After Dark event. It was like whatever, and that was the only time the line was short enough that I could get. I still had to get in line, but I could ride.
Yeah, same here. And they actually have cut scenes in the Disneyland version. Like it jumps around a lot more.
That's the thing about these like storybook rides is it's really hard to follow the story unless you've seen the movies.
Yeah.
And, like, I appreciate when it tells a full story. Like Little Mermaid in California Adventure is horrible. Like they literally cut out any sense of story from that movie.
Well, like they glossed over very quickly Ursula being huge.
I mean, it's just all of a sudden like,
It's a
they don't
little
even introduce her.
silhouette in the background, sort of.
She's like the first time you see Ursula, she's big.
This part though is so beautiful.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's yes. Hard.
This is going back to the immersiveness of Disney. Like this room feels unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video doesn't do it justice because like literally being on this ride, it's. I mean, again, like everything else at Disney, it's an experience.
There's a hidden Mickey in Big Ben for
Oh, is there?
next.
Ooh.
He's jumping around in there. Oh my God.
Corey
I love
Cudney
this ride
says,
so much.
to really understand Little Mermaid, you need to play Kingdom Hearts.
You need to do that rhythm game.
Oh God.
And I have the song stuck in my head. Thank you.
That Ursula fight in Kingdom Hearts 1, where you're like trying to swim and also fight, and you're like, why can't I do that? Took me forever.
It's just involves just wailing away and using that to push yourself forward. Honestly, that ride is you either win that fight. You either win that fight or you don't win that fight. There's really no strategy involved.
Can you guys imagine a Kingdom Hearts anything at Disneyland? Like
Actually, at the Oogie Boogie Bash, they have the Donald and Goofy costumes.
Oh yeah, I
come
forgot
out
about
of
that.
that's so great. What a great way to tie it in. But I'm talking about like a ride or a show.
Like a
Imagine.
gummy ship ride.
Oh,
I think Fantasmic is Kingdom Hearts. The story
Yeah.
is the same.
oh, that's so
It's
rad.
pretty similar, yeah. I still remember with our wedding, being like, so we want to do some Kingdom Hearts stuff for the wedding, and the people at Disney weddings didn't know what Kingdom Hearts was. So like we literally had to hire a friend to turn Simple and Clean into a song for string quartet because they didn't know it. They'd never heard it before.
That's great, man.
And it was like,
Sorry.
yeah, we did what we did. So, but like they were all confused. The only old person who worked for Disney weddings that knew what Kingdom Hearts was the DJ.
I love the videos of people having Kingdom Hearts as part of the wedding. So they have a Keyblade shaped knife to cut the cake.
We
like
didn't
it
get that
would
far.
work, but- Tim, we'll try it. We'll try it for your wedding.
Oh my God, yeah, we'll have to figure it out. Speaking of weddings, do you wanna do the proposal thing now?
Yeah, we can.
I feel like that'll be fun. So, my best friend in my life.
Oh,
Kurt,
no.
I actually had the video pulled up. You want me to play
Cried
that?
too much. I cried too much.
So what I want to do here is before we watch the video, kind of want to do some fun stuff. Can you go back to the center, like right in front of the castle?
Yeah. Can do.
So
Captain.
so actually real quick, stop here.
Uh-huh.
Stop here. So my best friend Curran, he had asked his girlfriend Shari out in 2008, but we put on this elaborate like Aladdin play essentially. And then like 10 years later, it was time to do the proposal, and we knew we had to do it at Disneyland, and we wanted it to be a surprise, obviously. And I wanted to make sure it was on video. So what we decided to do is kind of make everybody like I convinced her that I was shooting a music video at Disneyland. So it was just they were going as a couple. It's totally believable. They were going as a couple, and then I just went with like the video crew, and we met up. And at some point, Curran was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go sleep or something while you shoot the video with Tim." So I was just walking around with her, and we shot a whole bunch of random little things. But while that was happening, we had 3 groups. So it was me and Curran's friends, Shari's friends, and then both of their families. And we had them hide in different places and come out at the right times. So if you start walking under the castle right there, so you'll see in the video, like keep going. So stop here, turn to the right. We were literally, not me, but like my friends, like the boy, we're all hiding in this little nook, waiting to come out, and then keep walking towards Main Street.
Mickey.
So keep on going, and then stop right at the a little further. Stop right here. So this is exactly where the video happens, where Shari's standing. Then keep going from here. Stop. We had all of her family members hiding to the right over there, and then we had all left. So that's just.
You mean they're her friends?
Her friends were hiding over here. Her family and his family were all hiding over there.
Okay.
And when you watch the video, it'll make sense on when they come out and stuff. You can see me the whole time kind of directing everybody with the timing and stuff. But let's check this out.
Tim, this proposal was one of the first kind of funny things I ever, because it was like, you gotta see this. This is your dream. And I was like, okay. And yeah, so thank you. Wouldn't be here.
Where we essentially recreated Aladdin. He dressed up like Aladdin.
Oh my god, I cried. So I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna like.
Can you turn this one up so we can hear it a little more?
It was adorable. But now, 8 years later, it's time for him to propose. Now here's the thing, we knew we had to go big. But it's hard to go big in Disneyland because if you make a scene, you get kicked out. And that's the last place I want to get kicked out of. So I came up with the idea to have her have an audio-visual experience where she watches and listens to a video on my phone. Now, how am I going to get her to do that, though? Here's the deal. I told her I was making a Disneyland rap video. Now, while that was a total lie and we shot a bunch of fake shots, she didn't know any difference because that's something that Tim Gettys would do any day of the week. Now, I did that, got her all prepped, we got her in front of the castle, gave her the video, she starts watching it,
so adorable.
And that's when magic happens, and that's what you're about to see.
Is it safe?
Sure, do you trust me?
What?
Do you trust me?
Yes.
Hey, dude. What? 8 years ago, on October 17th, 2008, I asked you to take a leap of faith by taking my hand and trusting me. And so for the next few minutes, I'll need you to do just that. Stand exactly where you are, keep your headphones on, and just listen to me. Do you trust me? From the countless pictures of us in this very spot that line the walls of the house that we bought together, to our furry loves that make it a home, it is going to take quite a few balloons to get us to where we need to go.
That's us.
It was only through the courage and strength of my friends that I believed I could fly and take you to a whole new world. Now do me a favor and look straight ahead at the castle.
So that's when we had all of our friends come out.
Oh, you should motion to Danny to come over to you. He has something for you that you may need to celebrate at our dinner at Club 33.
So that's her friends.
Now look back at your phone. Even with this newfound courage and a couple balloons, we still needed a push. Your friend's passion and fire has always been there for us in our times of need. And we really wouldn't get far on our trip without them by our sides. Thankfully, they're always exactly where we need them to be. Now go ahead and turn around to Main Street.
Just getting her with the feels, man.
What's the point of an adventure book if you don't have your friends to share it with? It is just an honor to award you with the badge of friendship.
All right, now here we go, guys. Things about to get real. When she sees her family and opens her eyes, it's like she's getting
Now
punched in the
please,
stomach.
close your eyes and keep them shut. I'm going to need your help with this one. Really, this adventure started a lot longer than 8 years ago. It was only through the love and support of our families that we learned how to be the people we are today and how to cherish and love one another. We spent the last few years welcoming each other into the families we grew up with. Now we share our family. Go ahead and open your eyes.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm full on crying now.
Dude, same.
It is with the trust you put in me 8 years ago, and with our friends and families behind us, that we're able to fly to wherever we need to go.
There
But
he
there's
is.
just one thing missing before we take our trip to Paradise Falls. If you would trust me just one last time, please take off your headphones and turn around. Babe, 8 years ago, I rubbed a magic lamp and I asked you to be my girlfriend. And in those 8 years, we've become so much more. You've become my ultimate support, my girlfriend, my better half, my beautiful Princess Jasmine. And I know that with you by my side, adventure will always be out there. And with all of our friends and family here, I wanted everyone to witness this celebration, and I wanted you to let me know if I could have just one last wish.
So good.
Shari Isabella Keane, will you marry me?
I just love a crowd force.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man.
I just want to know how any cast members didn't make you guys move. 'Cause usually do right away for any of that stuff.
Well, because here's the thing. Like, because we had the headphones on, nobody knew what we were doing. They were just two people standing there. Like, the crowd formed. That wasn't our bad. We weren't being disruptive. Like, this felt so epic and immersive, and like everyone was a part of it. But it was like the only people that heard it in real time were the two of them. So like no one really
Okay.
stopped us.
Because you guys had a lot of people there too.
Oh yeah, man. There was our group was like 30 people.
Wow, fantastic job, dude.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
so
you.
well done.
Definitely one of the proudest things I've ever done in my life.
I love that video so much. I love it so much. And it's funny 'cause I think we were at your housewarming, Tim, and you introduced me to them, like super
Yeah.
casually. You're like, oh my god, they're also really big Disney fans, hey. And then afterwards I was like, wait, were those the proposal people?
I love it.
I was like, wait, because they were leaving, so like they had left. I was
Oh.
like, wait a second.
Oh, we need to properly introduce you next time. That's hilarious.
I was like, what?
All right, guys, let's go on like one or two more rides before we watch the fireworks show.
Cool.
So, what do you guys want to ride next?
What do we have left?
We have the Storybook Canal, Casey Jr., Mr. Toad, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland.
We did Peter Pan.
Storybook.
Oh, we did Peter Pan.
Let's do Storybook Canal.
Storybook Canal. Oh, and Nemo as well, but that's
We are not doing Nemo.
Nope. Hard pass.
Oh no!
We know.
Thank you. Oh, we could do teacups if we want a little bit of
Yeah,
motion
just want to
sickness.
spin around.
I didn't pull teacups, but that's actually like you can ride it in the game, and it's okay. it's a thing that happens.
I like Storybook Land Canal.
You know, I don't think I've ever been on it.
It's precious.
I think I
Yeah.
rode. I think the last year was the first time I ever rode it, and that was just with the kids.
What is it? Just kind of like little moments from the different Storybook rides, or?
They're basically like miniature, like all the the princess castles and all that stuff. All the settings are scattered around, and the narrator kind of tells you about their story. They're like, and this is where diamond in the rough did blah blah blah. Like they narrate it
Oh,
as
cool.
if it's a storybook, but all of the castles and the settings are miniatures. We'll
That's
see.
fun.
And it's all outdoors.
It's nice and relaxing too.
And sometimes the duckies are just sitting there. And they're just like, hello, I'm as big as the house.
I love it.
They just have so many chill rides. That you just at the end of the day, you want to rest your feet. Just go ride these small, quick rides.
Now he's always chasing after the three little pigs who luckily live all the way on the other side of the canal. One lives in a house of straw, one in a house of sticks, and one
You can see
lives in a
Arendelle
hole
over
of
distance.
wolf-proof bricks.
And you can see how they get better and better with what they make too.
Then our story takes a strange turn because just around the corner coming up on our left-hand side is the quaint English village that's home to Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Now one golden afternoon she followed the White Rabbit and fell all the way down, down, down into Wonderland, where things only became curiouser and curiouser from there.
This is kind of cool.
It's cute. It's precious.
Land filled with such enchanted
Also,
places,
like,
places like
gave a
London,
lot of
Marco,
setting
Louis,
to the
Peter,
stories that I
Paris,
didn't know. Like I think Cinderella, they kind of show the entire town and like where her house is and the castle is, and you're like,
Like,
oh,
oh,
are they really that close? Like,
wow.
in miles?
That's cool.
Oh my goodness.
Now, although the two are from different worlds, with the power of love and with the help of a genie, they were married and to this day live in the Sultan's palace of Topsail.
At night, all the arches are lit up. It's really pretty.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Corey Cuddy in chat says, this stream is making me want to watch Disney Plus the rest of the day.
I know, dude. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, I still haven't finished Imagineering Story. Like, I only
I
watched.
haven't watched it yet.
I've only seen the first two.
Oh, it's good. They're long, right? They're an hour each. There's 6 of them, but they are good. I finally watched the 6th episode, which actually all the way up to speed, to like Star Wars Land, Rise of the Resistance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they go through the like the Guardians, like changing Tower of Terror to Guardians. It's really good.
That's awesome.
Oh, I can't wait for that new Tron ride to come out. There's so many great rides that are coming out with soon. Like, just hear about the Spider-Man ride they're coming out with at Marvel Land.
Right?
Oh, I hope it's good.
I mean, what they're describing, if it works, it's gonna be
Right. If it
groundbreaking.
works, it's gonna be great, which I hope it will.
Yeah. But Disney can pull it off. They've been pulling it off pretty regularly lately.
Yeah.
And we turn the page to our left-hand side. The Blue Roof Chateau is where Cinderella grew up with her wicked stepmother and stepsisters.
Oh, there's like a little.
Now, wishes
Yeah,
are
see?
a powerful part of
There.
every story.
And then
wow.
Just like Cinderella
Castle's
Yeah.
just like,
go to the
oh,
ball.
right there.
Her
Like,
godmother granted that wish, but when she didn't return by midnight, her coach turned back into a pumpkin where it still lies on that bridge
They're
today.
missing a couple of woods.
Now, although magic has its limits, luckily
At least a tree or two.
Cinderella now lives happily ever after with her Prince Charming.
So I've never been on Casey Jr.'s train ride, but watching the video, I feel like I'm missing out on a big thing.
Huh.
it's okay. I mean, I'll ride it if we're in Fantasyland. It's one of those rides. I like sitting in the cage because it's fun. But yeah, it just kind of it gives you another viewpoint of the park, which is why it's fun. It's like you're a little bit raised, and you kind of go around a little bit. It's pretty short.
Storybook Land, even in all the miniature plants that are all completely real and will never grow up thanks to the enchantment of Tinkerbell. That's just part of what made this place so special to master storyteller Walt Disney. And it continues
Because I'm sitting in the cup, sit in the cage as Vendor of Horse. Thanks, Corey, for that great recommendation.
Some of these stories like that of the wind in the willows with Moley Rat and Mr. Toad, whose stately manners coming up on our left-hand side. But it doesn't look like anyone's home today. He must have taken his motor car out
Again,
for a
Mick, this is
wide
such a
ride,
great idea. Thank you so much for getting us to.
Of course, I'm so glad I could get you all together, because this would not have been the same without all these great Disney fans like you guys are. Just to chat about this. And it's not the same thing, but it definitely feels like we are there together.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really great.
and letting her ask once again, do you want to build a snowman?
Arendelle's so well done.
Yeah.
Well, there's the Alpine Village to our right, where a woodcarver named Geppetto first wished upon a star for his puppet to become a real boy. It wasn't until after Pinocchio saved her from the belly of Monster the Whale that the Blue Fairy granted that very wish. And wishes like Geppetto's are found in so many fairy tales, like the one of a little mermaid named Ariel, who followed Prince Eric to the castle on our right. One that inspired her to give up her life under the sea, take her first steps on unsteady legs, and fulfill her dream of becoming a part of our world. And hers is a story that begins in the shadow of her father, King Triton, in the underwater city of Atlantis to our left, which spills out into adventures that end like all good stories do, with a happily ever after.
Alright, guys. We can do Peter Pan. No, not Peter Pan. Mr. Toad.
So before we do that, in the Discord, I just sent you a link. I don't think I made Belinda cry enough today. You guys were mentioning ducks, the Disneyland ducks.
No.
And this is technically Disneyland Paris, but there's a 1-minute video. I just want to watch with you guys.
Oh god.
I think I've already seen it, but I will happily cry to it again.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what this is.
Oh my god.
Aww.
This is my favorite commercial ever.
Oh, I've seen this too.
To dream the impossible dream.
Oh.
Goodness.
Oh my god. To bear with unbearable sorrow. To run with the
It's so sad.
Oh, don't forget your book, no. No.
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
To love pure and chased from afar. To try when your arms are too weary. To reach the unreachable.
Oh my gosh.
This is my
Aww.
Oh, baby.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary how good this commercial is.
And the fact that there are ducks in Disneyland just
It's
makes
just
it
so great.
It's because
So
I
adorable.
feel like that little duck.
like I am the duck.
I am that duck. Whenever I go to Disneyland.
Poor Belinda there, just getting punched and punched, tears over and over again.
This is, I mean, it's just like real Disneyland. I'm just always crying.
So, let's have the chat vote for our last ride tonight, guys. Mr. Toad, Pinocchio, or Alice in Wonderland? Sound off in the chat what you want for us to finish up with before the fireworks show. Because what is Disney without any with fireworks?
No, exactly.
Or we can do an Enchanted Tiki Room. I also have an Enchanted Tiki Room.
Let's say that I feel like we should do one of those rides to close out, and then the fireworks. We could always do this again and have more stuff. I feel like we should save
Oh,
some
we
shows.
could do all the parks. We could do them
Absolutely
all.
can.
Why not?
We got 4 in Disney World.
We got
I'd be
several votes.
like, get me on
Toad.
test track. Let's do it.
Get me
Yes. I think we're going with Mr. Toad.
Toad is taking the lead, it looks
You
like.
guys want to go to hell? Is that what you want? You just
I want-
really
you know
want
what?
to be there?
I want to do it on a Sunday. That sounds good.
I mean, my office is a little chilly right now. I can use the heat.
So my sister said they took my niece on Mr. Toad. She was not a happy girl. Didn't
Oh.
No.
like it. Dumbo, though, is apparently the
Yes.
best thing she ever went on ever.
So funny.
And so I'll be giving away the last 3 pins during the fireworks show. 3 people will
My-
be picked.
My overriding memory of Mr. Toad is the first time I ever went to Disneyland. I was 12 years old, and I went with my family and my older cousin, who I think was like 17 or 18 at the time. He had, for some reason, decided to get a nose job 4 days before we went to Disney. And he's high out of his mind on painkillers the whole trip. And Mr. Toad was just him doing a quasi Jerky Boys routine. I could think it was quite. It was him just yelling these obscene things. And now it doesn't matter how many times I write Mr. Toad. It's all I think about is him just high out of his mind, yelling at the characters and asking for like ointment and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
My local theme park had something like this ride when I was a kid, but it was way scarier. Like, they ramped up Mr. Toad to 11.
Oh goodness, everything's so close.
Yeah, it's so
No,
claustrophobic.
really is.
I scream at the train every time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Any Animal Crossing fans that are watching, you have like 15 minutes to buy turnips. Just
I've just decided I'm not gonna buy turnips this week. It took me over an hour and a half to sell them this past week. I'm not doing that again.
Turnip sale's been over for a long time on the East Coast.
Oh right. Sorry, Pacific time.
Sebas Castle said, I heard a story of how I think it was Daniel Radcliffe going to Disneyland high on edible.
Oh my goodness. I want to go. I think I went to Food and Wine when I was at Disneyland. I want to go. They have such good food there, even though it's so expensive.
So, me and Alyssa did Food and Wine for the first time. We kept our tickets because we were returning this weekend.
Yeah.
So we have all these unused tickets because we're like, oh, we'll use half.
We'll use some of it
half
now. Yeah. I was just looking.
Food
at
was
this
so
morning.
good, though.
It was so
very
good.
So, Katie, my girlfriend, and I went to Festival of the Arts at Disney World at Epcot. It is so cool what they do because they have like arts everywhere. They have special foods. They even have like a special cookie you can get that's like an art palette.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah, they do
so bad.
so many.
But they
They
have like
do a really good job with all the food.
yeah, they have so many different festivals at Epcot. They have like
Yeah.
Festival of the Arts, Garden Festival, and Food and Wine, and also during Christmas they change everything too,
Yeah.
where they have special
Yeah.
Christmas themed foods from around the world.
From
on
around the
the
world,
kiosks.
yes. I did that one at California Adventure. I've now been to 3 different festivals just by chance. So I did the Christmas one. That was fun. I did. I was there when they did. So all of the booths were just different cuisines and traditional food in celebration of Lunar New Year. And then we were there for the beginning of Food and Wine. I've always been impressed with the variety and the quality of the food.
Alright guys, we're gonna end it with a fireworks show. This is
I
one
love
that
it.
Tim recommended.
Which one are we doing?
It's the 60th anniversary one.
Love it, man. This one is so damn powerful. Like, I feel like my favorite fireworks show is Remember, but the 60th anniversary one, the way that this thing ends. Belinda, I'm sorry. You're crying again.
It's just like real Disneyland. I'm always crying during the shows, during everything. Oh, we need. Yep.
I love the projection they do in the castle.
Oh, dude. And here's the thing. My favorite thing about the modern fireworks shows is they do projection on the castle, they project on the Matterhorn, and they also project on Main Street on all of the...
Oh, I didn't know they did that too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what you got to do after we're done with this, look up YouTube videos of the view from, like, the beginning of Main Street. It's a insane show. Like, I would argue I might even like it better than seeing the castle. Because it's crazy what... Have you guys seen this?
Yeah,
I watched it just to get ready for this, and it gives me goosebumps.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, okay.
The last one I saw was for the Christmas party, and they changed the castle. Like Elsa comes out and changes the castle to make it all icically.
Oh, it's insane.
And they have that on the castle. Then after that, they have little light strips everywhere to make it look like it's still frozen.
Oh yeah, it's super rad. I think it's this show that at the end of it, like towards the end when the music's going crazy, this castle transforms into all the different castles. Like they project on it and you see it happen. But oh man, there's a speech at the end and you see Walt and Mickey in the little doorway of the castle. It's fantastic.
Also,
all right, let's check it out.
For the chat, type in hashtag Disneyland to be entered for our last giveaway for today.
I can't.
There will be 3 winners picked from this one.
I'm ready. I get so emotional because it like I'm so happy at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's crazy and I just get really caught up in it. Like during Phantasmic, I'm like always crying because
We can honestly forget about the outside world at Disney.
You
It's
just
so
believe.
self-isolating.
Like it sounds. Believe in your imagination and all that, and it's real. It's real to me.
Yep.
Our Discord videos.
Oh, is it frozen?
Yeah.
You said it for you guys, so hopefully it shows up.
All good.
I'm watching on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still not coming.
I'm sorry guys, I wish you guys would watch along too. I see no link.
You could try changing the server in Discord. That might be the issue. Or the region.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's the tangled part.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that See the Light gets as much love as it does because
It should.
it's so good. Entangled's so good.
That's
It's
like
one of my
top
favorite
5 like theater experiences I want to relive again is being in the theater when this entire sequence is happening. Like shaking.
But yeah, Tangled is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. If you guys want to pull it up, we're at like 4:13.
Okay.
Video. Stupid internet.
Thank you. Oh, I just got it.
Here's what we should do.
Oh, I just got it
Everyone
too.
set it to 4:45 and pause it. And then when you hit 4:45, let us know and give us a 3, 2, 1 and we'll all hit play.
Okay. I'm up.
Of course, internet's
Oh,
failing again.
now it's loading. It's in and out.
Oh, we can.
I see it in
Yeah,
Discord
we can just
now.
watch it.
Okay.
I got.
Let's just watch it on his thing.
Man. Of course the internet's not working now for the last thing.
That's how it always goes.
And yeah, Now I See the Light is the best Disney song of the modern era.
I lied, it's frozen again for me.
Yeah.
It stopped right after we decided we were good.
Alright. Go to like 5:15 then.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen just to help with the loading.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at 5:15.
Don't worry, chat, we will get this figured out.
Loaded.
All right. I am also at 5:15. Do you want to just pull it up, let it load for a little bit?
Well, it's loaded up pretty far. I think it's just my computer overloading with everything going on.
Got it.
So, now that I
Is
stopped
everyone
sharing my screen...
Everyone ready at 5:15?
Yep.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, give us the countdown, man.
If my video will go. Maybe. Ah, no. Okay, just gonna do like this. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's Winnie.
Perfect.
Oh. Scary.
Remember that scene we were all making fun of earlier? Winnie the Pooh?
Heffalumps are so scary.
They are.
crowd freaking out for Lion King.
Yep.
It's so important to so many people, and I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to watch the new version.
I haven't watched it yet either.
Also, Lion King in review on Kind of Funny on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh man. Let's go, baby. God, I'm getting so many chills.
Their fireworks shows are just so well done. I may not be about, all for the parades, but fireworks shows.
Oh yeah.
You have to watch at least one when you're there.
And I'm telling you, this one it's mastercraft. Like,
Yeah.
like towards the end, the music, the only music that's better than it is Fantasmic's end.
This is why I can't wait to see what they do at Disney World for the 50th anniversary next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, I just popped an ad in the middle.
No!
Oh.
And thank you, Billy, for the 5 gifted subs. You guys are fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, like if there's the other angles from the beginning of Main Street, and it's like all the houses or all the buildings are like dancing along.
No way.
Like the projection on the castle is like every building has its unique projection.
It's
so
so
I feel like you
great.
have to stop, like, stand right by the train station and then watch everything happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much to take in, though.
I love that they did that because it's spreading the crowd out.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
You're getting a show no matter where you are, which is so smart.
And like I was saying, like I debatably like it better when you are on Main Street and you can see it all.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'm also tall, so I can see all.
Poor Gia.
Yeah. Oh God.
Do you
As
ever
a
have to, like,
short
stick her on your
person.
shoulders so she can see everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the little kids. Oh God, chills.
This is Katie's favorite movie.
It's a good one. It's a perfect one.
Yeah.
Is she excited? I guess if you're in chat, Katie, are you excited for the live action?
She's probably distracted with Animal Crossing right now.
Relatable. Fishy!
Oh my gosh!
Ho, ha, ha, ho, 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 ha. Shark bait!
Ooh-ha-ha.
Yeah, Frankfurter says Disney buys the second most amount of explosives in the U.S.
So cool.
Because all their parks, they do a fireworks show every night.
Mm-hmm.
Man, guys, a couple weeks ago, me and Joey watched the the fucking pyro was so cool. Me and Joey watched the parade we watched earlier for the first time in my theater room.
Yeah.
And I have all my hue lights synced up to.
Oh my gosh.
And it is. Next time you guys gotta come over and watch like World of Color. It is.
Let's just do
It's
like a
insane.
playlist, like a whole playlist.
Yeah.
And then just have a Disney. We can make churros and.
Oh.
Does that invitation extend to Josh and I as well? Whenever it's out.
Yep, fly out, man.
I want to.
They will learn the choreography by then.
Oh, we will know it. I've had lots of time to know all the choreography.
See, here's the thing. Let it go, overplayed, blah blah blah. I don't care. It's super hype, and
It's
this
amazing.
fireworks
Yes.
show does it so well. And I don't know if you can see here, but there's snow falling on everybody.
No way.
They shoot snow out, and it's just falling everywhere.
It's magical.
Tim, did you watch the Disney Parks version of the parade?
I mean, real talk, man. I've seen them all.
Okay. Solar in the chat was asking for
every
which
angle,
video.
man.
Just Solar in the chat was wondering which video you were watching.
Oh, we literally just skimmed. Like, we clicked on one and then went on relate. We were watching for maybe 3 hours.
That's so cool.
Oh, I love these giant flare ones.
The flares are the best.
Solar, Google, just YouTube Magic Happens Parade, and Disney has an official one they have, which should work.
Oh, man. I think it's the Disney World fireworks show that's going on right now. There's a Star Wars moment where you see the Death Star and it has the green lasers go. It's so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much from here on out, this is the most epic Disney thing ever.
It's the best. The finale is always like
Yeah.
bone chilling.
Oh, the jingle.
Oh, man.
Fudge me. The end of that VHS I was talking
Dude, see,
to
it's
you
this
guys
song
about.
right here, man.
It's and they're all
Let's
hugging.
go.
And
Oh, it's so cool.
oh god.
Oh, man. Like, dude, this song is so perfect, but we're about to get to a part where it just breaks it down. And it's just like orchestra building and building to the end. Oh, God. I'm playing this so loud right now.
No. There we go.
It's right here. Let's go.
Oh no.
Blow the castle up. Let's go. Oh, man.
Oh, so good. Great choice, Tim.
Oh. Oh.
Wonderful.
So, let's all wipe away our tears before we end it. We finish the giveaway and announce the winners.
Oh, that was so good.
Oh god, I needed that.
Congrats to
Oh, man.
Caesar, Glennie, and Alex VG, the final 3 winners for the giveaways. I'll
Congratulations.
DM you all after to coordinate what pin you want. So that's the end of our Disneyland stream today, guys. I hope you all had a fantastic, magical time here with all of us.
Great idea, Mick.
This such a good idea. So well executed, and man, that end. Oh,
Really, that was perfect.
It was
so
perfect.
great.
We will definitely coordinate other parks to do,
I love
especially
it,
while the
man.
quarantine's going on, because this clearly brought so many people together, talked about Disney, and just enjoying the small, like, the magical things in life, to be honest.
I love it.
California Adventure. That's
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Do it next.
No, there's no game like this for Disney World, but I'm going to try and find a way to make it work before we do this again.
Let's do it.
Do you guys want to say your goodbyes? Let's start off with Tim.
I love you guys. Thank you for being a part of this. I absolutely love Disney, and this is why, man. Magic. It's real.
Alyssa?
Thank you for including me in this. This is one of the first things I've ever done, and it was. Thank you.
Of course. Josh?
Thank you. This was a blast. As soon as you told me about this idea, I fell in love with it, and I'm glad it executed the way that I think you envisioned it. This is awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Belinda?
Thanks for having me. Disneyland is my favoriteest place ever, and I'm really happy I got to share it with all of you.
And thank you all so much for hanging out here with all of us today. I could not have done it without each and every one of you watching me, supporting all this, hanging out with all of us, chatting Disney, especially all of you guys who've joined me here in Discord today. Because I've been wanting to talk Disney so long, and who better to talk about it with than the biggest Disney fans that I know.
Love it, man.
I'm so glad this worked out so well that it did, and I love all of you so much, and I hope you all have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.